Prepared for the dawn. And these days, 140 for the world. They in the build, we in the spot. We can go to war and see who make it out. Or your stripes, dog. You with us or not. We can get it on when it's on. It don't never stop. First you get that power, gotta hold it down. Watch your step, boy. You on holy ground. They in the build, we in the spot. We can go to war and see who make it out. It's a problem to the fly ball. I die for it, let my colors fly ball. For a nigga take feed and drop it. Ain't all clean them up like a mop pig. Ain't cool. He bad. He really so tough. They like damn. Look what he did. Really go rough. Little bitch think she keep on. A silly hoe. She know I'm that bull, but I ain't fulfill it all from the city where they say about that ribbon like pad pokes. Know them niggas flying, gotta deal with. Yeah. Can't catch me slipping, got to steal with me. Just left Alabama, bought a chopper from some hillbilly move. He made my finger a blade. Leave them all bruised, come through like a blade. Rebel off the leash like a dog out the cage. Call me Johnny Blaze, I'm from West May. Watch a step get stretched like a lemon, so my brother bring that blade back wet. That's my enemy. Lord, nigga, this that cult nigga talk. Niggas know I got blood in my cup. I just sip it like it's grenade. Yeah, they in the bill. We in the strap. We can go to war and see who make it out. On your stripes, dog, you with us or not. We can get it on when it's on, it'll never stop. First you get that power, gotta hold it down. Watch your step, boy, you on holy ground. They in the bill, we in the spot. We can go to war and see who make it out. Tell them niggas good night, here come the bitch. Look, told them niggas get right or get limp. PK box mine, I into your face. Hellboy, rip the soul out of dead my shit. Got the rank, the power. I finish your shopper. Yeah, they might hate, but I know they gon' watch. Zone on lock, and you know the flow. I still got the trip by the David Jones lock. No, I got the plan. They say that you the man. No shit, Sherlock. I'm the one you heard about. Burned down the building, let them all watch. Throw that one whistle, then I swerve out. I'm sick with this shit, I do not need a detox. He don't watch his step, blow him out them Reebok. We taking over, I'm sending the word. Can't see me, little nigga, I put you in a bird box. Look, it's one West practical, gladiator, maximal. Creep on them slow, but that Glock fire rapid. All I want is more power, more strap to blow. Ain't got excuse for no car, he gonna have to go. They in the building, we in the spot. We can go to war and see who make it out. On your stripes, dog, you with us or not. We can get it on when it's on, it don't never stop. Testing 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Can y'all hear me okay? Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me okay? Hear me okay. Give me a 1 2 3 4 5 if you can hear me okay. All right. Let me know if y'all can hear me okay. I know all my Christians that celebrated Easter today. I was mad at that Joe Biden. Hey, I'm on the way, Tommy. I'm on the way. I was just about to text you. Shout out to y'all. See Tommy Sotomayor TV Sports 3. That's him. Make sure y'all subscribe to that brother. I'm on the way right now. Give me 1 second. Let me go ahead and send this to myself. Copy. I'm gonna email myself this link real fast. Booyah! Got us another one. Hold on. All right. Put the link in there. All right. I just sent the link to myself. Oh. Look, Tommy said, don't sub to that page. They gonna flag. All right, don't subscribe. I'm trying to help the brother out. He said, nah, don't sub. Don't, so everybody that might have subscribed, don't subscribe to his page. Man, that is crazy, man. Tommy like the damn Illuminati. He like the Gooch or something. Some they want to stay on. They do not want him on the damn platform. All right, so let me click the link. And I'm gonna get ready. I feel like something. I feel like am I here? Testing 1 2. Okay, all right, hold on. Hold on 1 second. Let me make sure. If y'all driving or y'all want to listen in on Clubhouse, I believe we are live on the Clubhouse as well. Let me see if I can find it. It's submitting. Yeah, here we go. There we go. Okay, let me go ahead and join. I just raised my hand. Let's see if they bring me up and bring me in the room. Hey Dawada, if you hear, I raise my hand. If you on club, there we go. Appreciate it. All right.
go ahead and do that. Let me make sure. All right. All right. So now, if y'all can find us on Clubhouse, Facebook, Tommy's on Rumble. I'm about to click this link and join Tommy's live. I think we got a good. Listen, this is for y'all. Wait, let me wait till I get it. This whole show is dedicated to y'all, right? Should I put my Cash App on here? Yeah, let me do Cash App. Let me put $Tazaryach. $Tazaryach on my display name over here. I hope it don't change. Okay, there we go. There go my man Tommy right there. There you go. Let me make sure I think I gotta cancel an echo. Can you hear me okay, Tommy? There, man, you got me loud. Yeah. Nah, that was one of my brothers rapping. You like that song, huh? Yeah, yeah, we doing a little music, man. Listen, if you come to North Carolina, yeah, listen, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna start sending you. I'm gonna send you some music. Like we make some good. Okay, okay. Listen, man, we about to time. Nah. Okay, okay. He said, "Well, nobody hotter than him." Hold on, let me make sure I got you on my screen. So that people can hear you. Give me 1 second. Yeah, yeah. So I got to share that stream, y'all, so they can hear you. Hold on 1 second. I'm just switching over. Let me make sure I got the right one. I think this is it. Hold on. I gotta close a couple of my. They gotta work with me. 1 second, y'all. I just gotta close some of my screens. Yeah, there you go. They be patient, man. We got a hell of a show for y'all. There's a lot going on. You got Joe Biden gave up Jesus for bunnies. Yeah. Yeah, we can, we got to talk about that. We got to talk about that, baby. At all. He don't care about none of. He don't care about y'all Jesus at all. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He said, "I got something special for y'all." Hold on. Why? Oh, there we go. Okay, here we go. I think we should be good
You
now.
thought it was preposterous that we thought that rabbits lay egg. What's gonna think when
Yeah.
you think that men have kids? You gonna think that men can
Right.
get pregnant
Right.
and
Men
shit?
can get pregnant. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Lord
Mm-mm-mm.
Jehovah, boy, they are ruining the season.
Yeah, listen, they ruining it out there. They making it look
Damn.
bad out there, man. They making it look
Make
real bad.
God,
Oh,
make you want to call his name extra hard, boy. Jehovah Rapha. Jehovah, you hear me?
said Jehovah Rapha. Okay,
Ooh.
okay.
Boy, we voted for this?
Yeah, that's what they voted for. Listen, they gonna vote again for it. They ain't gonna learn.
Yes, they are. That's the sad part about it.
Listen, they gonna fight you. Hey, Tommy, last week, man, I was a little envious, man. You had your little wine up there, man. So I got, I drink a little scotch. I see you got your
Oh,
little
okay. You
soda
got
today. Yeah, I got me a little
hold
scotch
on, Miss
today.
Wait a minute. Oh shit.
Yeah, yeah, I'm a Scotch man. Well, I like cognac too, but not like Henny. I like the Remy XO one. I like that one.
Mm-hmm.
That's like my favorite cognac. But I like this Lafroig right here. So I'm gonna have
So
a sip of this.
you got the stuff that put in a hair on your chest. That kind of stuff. I have to drown it with a chaser. Like
With the chase. Oh, okay, okay. I drink mine
yeah, I
straight.
see you
That's
want to see you up there. You up here ruining all the light skin tropes. You are ruining them.
he just started the
Nigga,
light
you
skin
was gonna have
already.
a glass of Alizé up here.
Yeah, so if you light skin, you got to drink all the little sissy drink. That boy, I tell you, man. Let
Hey.
that I tell you, listen, light skinned people don't get a break. We supposed to get a break. We supposed to be treated like we in a day and age now. But we supposed to be treated better, man. Light skinned people, man, we like strong drink too.
No, we know we just surprised. We like, wait a minute, what? You don't want a Zima?
Just
You sure you don't want a Zima? I got one right here.
said a Zima. I haven't heard Zima in so long. I can't remember the last time I heard a Zima. Yeah.
You sure you don't want one? I got one right here.
I'm positive. I'm
Nobody has
positive.
to know. I will pour it in a beer can if you like.
No, so I can feel like it's a manly. Yeah, he gonna pour the Zima in a beer can so I can feel like I'm drinking something strong. You know, I don't even drink. You know what's interesting? I don't drink beer though. I don't know if that's light skin. I don't drink beer. I only
No.
drink liquor.
Light skinned dudes know the beer. Like light skinned dudes get a blue moon and you gotta put the orange in it. That's how he drank it. That's what he did. He know the micro beers. He light skinned dude probably got some micro beer in the house. He wants you to taste it.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, Captain Tazaryach destroying all light skin myths. There's a lot of light skin myths out there. I'm destroying them all.
No, I said, hey, you know, he throwing me off. I don't know what to do. The brother out there named Che Williams. He said it's his birthday today. Happy 50th birthday, Che.
Okay, shout out to him. We don't celebrate birthdays over here, but you know.
Oh, tell us why not? Because that's the thing that Jehovah's Witnesses don't celebrate birthdays. So tell me.
Yeah, so birthdays is what we consider pagan holidays. It's like the day that individual gets worshipped. So on your birthday, that's the day everybody present gifts to you and stuff like that. So that's just not an Israelite custom. So we try to stick to the customs of the Israelites. So you don't see nobody celebrating their birthday in the Bible that's an Israelite. So we don't celebrate it. And then
he said Job 1:1, idolatry.
Yeah, like well, you can't. So in Job, the first chapter, it tells how the sons of Job celebrated their day. It doesn't say birthday, but it does say their day. So that is a scripture that Israelites used to reference. They got killed for that, punished for that. So yeah, they got punished for celebrating their birthday. So we don't supposed to get worship. So we don't. The scripture says better in your death than your birth. If you think about it, even Christ said, "Ye must be born again."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should celebrate the day that they got born again, that they came into God.
Yeah, so I do that. So like for me, I came into the truth or understand that I was an Israelite in February of 2010. And so I do count that as like my years. So I count myself as being like 15 years old because I've been 15 years in the truth. So I do that, but I don't celebrate it though. But that is a calendar mark for me, but I don't celebrate it.
Like more of an acknowledgement.
Yeah, exactly. It's almost like a wedding anniversary. Well, they celebrate wedding. Now, wedding anniversaries, that ain't really a sin either, as long as you ain't got people bringing you gifts and stuff like that. So that's not bad either.
Wait a minute.
What's
now
up?
You're trying to talk me out of being Israelite now.
Hold on
a minute. I'm gonna need housewarming gifts. Y'all need to bring them.
No, that's not a sin. Housewarming gifts is not a sin. That's
we about to have a baby. I'm gonna need
yeah, that's not a sin either. You could have what they call baby shower. That's fine. Baby showers is okay. That's not worship.
Okay, we about to get married. I'm gonna need that bachelor party.
Long as ain't no strippers at the bachelor. Long as ain't no strippers at the bachelor party.
Oh, come on.
Nah, you can't have no strippers, man.
Then what the hell is it gonna be? Just a card game?
Yeah, there you go. Play some spades or something, man.
No, you see? Whoa, you had me last week. Look at you now. Wow. A stripper, you can't have strippers.
Just think about the reason why you can't have strippers, right? Is because you're not supposed to see another man's nakedness. A lot of these strippers are having sex with a lot of men. So you got two scriptures. It says that in Deuteronomy, it says there shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel. That's in Deuteronomy. I know you like to pull them scriptures. When I seen your hand going to the mouse.
You see it?
Let's go into the scripture. Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy 23 and 17. That's the one. Now, it's interesting when you read the latter part about that, because that goes into what Joe Biden did today when you read the latter part. So you see the first part? When it says, there shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel. And then it says, nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel. Now that's interesting.
Well, see, you quoted Deuteronomy before. I then went and quoted do the right thing.
Yeah, you did.
So here's what else I'm gonna quote you.
What you gonna
yes, I'm gonna quote you another scripture, and this one is from not Deuteronomy, but dude, where's my car? And it says, We lost my car and we accepted stolen money from a transsexual stripper. And now some space nerds want us to find something we can't produce. This is what you're getting under Joe Biden. Dude, where's my car? Now you can go to dude, where's my car?
You was absolutely right. Listen, I did not know that Joe Biden gave a day for transgenders. I did not know that.
Observation. What is it? Recognition? Yeah, like observation or
yeah. I don't like why does and then here's how you know that there's an agenda with the community. It's if it was just about who you desired intimately, then whatever you do behind closed doors, that's what you do behind closed doors. I have no right to go into your house, right? But once you bring it outside and it's like you force it onto us, like you force us now, we got to have a day just because you're a transgender. There ain't a day because you're a black man. There ain't even a day because you're a white man.
Or heterosexual.
Or then where's the day for where's the heterosexual day at? We're heterosexuals and we want our day. And then what do heterosexuals do on that day? Like even the transgenders, like what do the transgenders do on that day? And this and that's how
we do it Black History Month. We don't do anything. It's just the month. When's the last time you see the nigga do something for Martin Luther King's birthday? It was the day we knew what we were doing. We knew the family was gonna come through. Somebody gonna make some dressing. We knew what was gonna happen. We know what's gonna happen on Thanksgiving. What the fuck do we do on Martin Luther King's birthday? Nothing. Literally, we don't do anything. No outreach, no nothing.
Right now, see, Tommy, like what I'm gonna say about Martin, man, I don't know which way we're gonna go with that because Martin, you might want to have an orgy because Martin was sleeping with them hoes. You know, Martin loved white women.
He loves some white hoes too.
Yeah, he loved. Look, what he telling white hoes? Call me nigga tonight.
Listen, I bet if Martin Luther King had some tapes that was out there, I'd watch him. I bet there's some freaky stuff going on in them videos. But Martin, you know, he hung out with some gays though.
Yeah, listen, remember Bayard Rustin. You know, if you do the history of civil rights, Martin was actually going to be a revolutionary type of civil rights leader, more aggressive. It was Bayard Rustin who was an open homosexual. They even did a documentary on Netflix on him. It was an open homosexual, and he taught Martin to be nonviolent, to not be aggressive. And so that civil rights wasn't just about blacks; it was also about gays.
Yeah,
gays take over everything. And for all you Christians, gays took your Easter.
Did you know that Rustin was really good at sports?
Oh, he was?
Yeah, he got a scholarship to play at Notre Dame football. You didn't know that?
No, you look at a lot of these athletic players, man. They pretty good at sports too, and they little, you know, some of them.
Yeah. He was a tight end and a wide receiver. Yeah, you let walk right into that one.
Hey, Tom, I wasn't ready for that one. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for that one. He was a tight end. I should have known something was up. Now you know what? I'm glad. I'm sharp now. You got me on that one. Definitely. That was hilarious.
Yeah, his favorite team. His favorite team was the Packers.
That is boy crazy as hell, man.
Listen, I'm just trying to drop historical facts. I just want people to know these people that is just, you know, just that's all I want. I just want people to know.
That's good.
But it is crazy the fact that this man has done it. Now they came out and they gave a public thing where they stated, well, we didn't actually they said we didn't actually put it on this day. It just so happened to fall this day because they said that Easter doesn't fall on the same day.
Same day, right? It doesn't.
Yeah, like apparently next year it falls on a weird date, but it's the
every year it's a different day, and that's also how you know it's not about Jesus' death. Because let's say if it was about the death and resurrection, my daddy died November 29th of 2008. 2007, right? That date don't change. It's
Right.
been 15 years since he passed. I ain't gonna say okay, it's December 1st now, or it's not gonna
And
say
it can move like a month. Like it
yeah,
could be in March sometime and April sometime. Like it's a big
yeah.
ass day.
Yeah, and that's what makes it weird. So, and the only thing I could say for Biden is that he did not pick this day because it was Easter, because he's been doing this every year. It just got attention because it falls on Easter this day, and the Christians wanted him to make an exception to the rule, and he would not make that exception to the rule.
No.
When you think
He's
about it,
going to observe. He's going to observe those trends before he
right,
does your Lord. And remember, the money say in God we trust. It don't say in but we trust.
right,
In but we thrust.
and
Boy,
you
that'd
know.
be hilarious if they had the money and said that on the money. In but we trust. Oh no.
That is
Francis.
crazy, Tommy. But when you think about it, Christ said you can't serve two masters. You're either gonna love one or hate the other. So what Biden and the Democratic Party showed is that they love the trans and they hate Christ. You can't get
Yes,
around that.
and they're making it obvious. I remember when I was young, when they stopped saying Christmas. They took the Christ out of Christmas and just put an X.
Yeah. Yeah. Remember, they took Christ out of school and all that. You can't even pray. And as they reduce now, and I'm not, this ain't even to say that the Christians got the understanding of the Bible right, but at least they was trying to be biblical. And so as they reduce being biblical, they also reduce being ethical. And so the ethics got diminished at the same time. So what start happening? As they get rid of Christ out and they get rid of the Bible and rid of all that, the whole community just start coming in. And the Oval Office took Jesus and put. Listen, they love the Easter Bunny more than they love Jesus in the Oval Office because they had an Easter egg hunt. And that's the other flip side. I don't know if I'm a ruffle no feathers, but what does Jesus have to do with Easter bunnies?
That's what I said. It has nothing to do with Easter bunnies, and rabbits don't lay eggs.
Yeah,
so that's why I said maybe it's going full circle because these men don't have babies, but now they acting like they do.
When you think about that's a good connection, right? That's a good connection.
I'm not just silly. I'm not just
nah. Listen, we created. I think we created something that we wasn't even trying to create. And I'm gonna show you how gifted Tommy and I are. Me and Tommy, like before we do the shows, we primarily text to each other. We don't talk like he'll text me. I text, hey, what you want to do? Hey, Tommy texts me like, hey, we good for tomorrow? I'm like, sure. What we gonna do? And we just talking through text, no strategy. So what you're getting is like a pure, organic, two black men coming together, two gifted black men coming together, the yin and the yang, like he said. But I'm gonna take the dark side. I'm gonna give him the light side.
Hey, now, let me tell y'all, he texts real light skin. You text him, you say something, it be on red, and you be up there waiting. It be on red. You just be like, okay, I know he read it, and I just asked the question. Let's see what he gonna respond. He be real light skinned with his damn responses. He wait a while. That nigga, I just asked you, what's going on 3 hours
on a public channel. I apologize. No more waiting on text. So now he can cut me. So the next time he texts me, he can go back to this clip and say, Tazaryach, you told me I wasn't waiting no more. So on the air. My bad. I'm gonna make sure I hit you up. Man, I was hoping you got your package. What'd you say?
I tell him, it'd be like 10 in the morning. What time we gonna go live? It say he read it at 10:05. At 4:15, he'd be like 8. I said, why you read that shit at 10:30? That all you did was sit back at 8. You didn't give me no explanation for this shit. I kept looking back at my phone and shit. It was 1. He still ain't said nothing, but it said he read it. It's 2. It's cool, no, it's cool. It's cool. Fine, fuck it. Yeah, that's all right though. But I haven't got the package yet. So I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna go.
Yeah, I hope so, because I sent it to 2 people.
Maybe they're bringing them on.
Yeah, so because I sent you a real. It's gonna come in a black box, and I sent you, all my products. I sent it to you, and I sent one to the singer Genuine. Like I was with the brother Genuine this past yesterday. Actually, he was performing in Brooklyn, so I sent it to him. But he's in DC, so maybe because you're further down, maybe that's why. So maybe you'll probably get it on
You
Monday.
better hope they didn't put it on that boat.
What boat? Oh.
You better hope they didn't put it on that damn boat and get out that harbor. Bam. God, dog.
As soon as it got, you got to send me the belt. Shout out to Marvel Knight.
Right.
You got to send me the belt. Now we're gonna put him on blast. He put me on blast and on red. I need the belt. I could have been here right now in my bed. This is my little den area. I could have put it up and said I got the belt right here.
It's hard to get to the what do you call them? The UPS store. Things difficult to make it out there to them. But what did you think about? Because I talked about that when I was on Fox News. We talked about how they were saying that DEI is the reason why the boat hit the
who?
The thing, diversity, equity, inclusion. Like they're saying because they have these minorities who have to work at these positions. That's why the boat. That's why they're saying.
What is wrong with Fox? What does that have to do with minorities? What I saw was that the way that them boats are supposed to be built, that even if it loses power, it's not supposed to lose the steering. So I would gather that it was more so a mechanical malfunction than a user malfunction.
But this is what they said though. This is crazy. That if the boat loses power, they lose the ability to steer it.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like they supposed to.
There's no override.
So they still should have been able to steer it, or you saying they couldn't?
That if they can't steer it, so it's not like they can kick it off of the electronic and steer it themselves.
Oh, okay, I get what you're saying. If the power goes out, that's so. How they blame that on minorities?
Oh, they were just being funny. See?
Oh, okay. I was like, yeah, because Fox was it a minority driving the boat?
If they had been a white person.
Was it a black? Let me look up who was driving the boat.
I think it was a white guy anyway driving it, but I think he wasn't a white guy. He was a
what does that even mean? Wait, hold on. Wait. What does a white guy mean?
You know,
you got to be in the Klan. Like you got.
Italians don't believe they white. Like you tell an Italian he white, he says no, I'm Italian.
Oh, okay.
They even make fun of the Metagon is what they call white people. They call them the Metagon.
Oh, okay. I thought white was like they had to be in the Klan or something. Like I thought that was
no. Like I think European.
Yeah, okay. Right, that's European. Oh, okay, that's just European. Okay. So all of them are European.
You look at the people over like the Russians, they're mixed. They're like mutts. They're mixed with Asian. Because
right.
So it's only
one. What I gotta do? I gotta put my Rumble account in your chat so I can have the people over there follow because I want to go live, but you gotta have like a certain amount of followers or something before you can go live. So let me see if I go to my channel. I'm gonna see if I can copy my channel and put that in there.
You gotta put it right there in the
In the what? I don't even know how
to advertisement for this light. I don't know. I just talk about random shit. They got an advertisement for this light, or a flashlight, but it's so bright it burned through shit.
That's too.
You never seen it?
That might be too bright.
That sound like a good fucking invention. That sound like
that don't.
People killed.
Yeah, that don't sound like a good invention. That sounds like something you don't want.
Right, but because I'm a pyromaniac, I'm going to get it. But the point is, I should not. But because I'm a pyromaniac, I should not have the ability to get it. Right. See, it's going to be their fault when I burn someone's house down. I'm just telling you that off top. But I'm getting it.
Right. How do you share your channel? Hey, y'all, just search Tazaryach. I don't even know how you share your channel on here.
Is your video up? Like, have you know where your channel is? Can you get to it?
Yeah. So I'm on it right now. So
if you can get to it, just look at the look at the top, the URL on the top. Whatever URL on the top is, it has HTML at the end of it.
Okay, yeah, because it don't say maybe because like when I go to mine, it just says account.
Yours. I'll see if I can find it.
Yeah, if you can find it, there you go. Look at that, brothers helping brothers, man. That's what we got to do. That's what we need more, man. We need more brothers helping brothers. Yeah, man. And just so everybody knows, man, this show is dedicated to the audience. When we
Yes,
did
sir.
the show last week I think we waited like maybe like an hour and a half or so before we said callers can come onto the show. So this show, although we're going to be talking about a really good topic in the spirit of Easter bunnies and Easter and Jesus Christ. This today's topic is, can you worship Jesus and not worship white supremacy? Now, with that said, if y'all have questions on any subject, of course, you can come in whatever questions that you have. I think like last week we had a bunch of brothers come in with questions, and we want the sisters to come in here too, man. We want the black woman to come up in here, man. Ask your question. This is the perfect time so that y'all can get your questions answered. Do not be afraid.
Right.
Either Tommy will save you or I'll save you. That's the black woman and the black man.
That's right. We are in this. Wait a minute, I can't sit here and tell a lot of these people. Listen. You got to say, I can't say that.
That's why I said it. That's why I said it.
Let me tell you something, Captain Tazaryach. I want to tell you how me and my fellow pro-blacks feel about the black sisters. I want you to listen to this for me just a minute. Just listen.
Another plus about white women are usually health conscious. White women are very particular about their health and keeping their weight in order. White women will damn near become anorexic before they let themselves go, generally. Now, there are some fat white women out there, but generally, a lot of white women are very health conscious. If you go to the gym, you see a lot of white women in there getting their workout on.
How much you love white women? I want to know is, since
you caught me off guard with this
just
one.
Go ahead and admit that white women are better, because that's what Tariq Nasheed said.
Nah, Tariq Nasheed does not speak for black people. That I think, and that's the brother that made Hidden Colors. I did not. How old is this? Old? Is it new? Like this is.
It's about 10 years old.
Now, what did he say in contrast to black women? Did he say the good things about black women?
He said if you have to date black women, date one that's mixed, preferably with a white mom, because if she has a black mom, she still has a chance of being ratchet like her black mama.
Wow.
This Mr. Hidden Colors, this Mr. FBA.
I'm flabbergasted. I just did a show with him back last year sometime. I did not know this information though. I just knew that he was like an FBA, did the Hidden Colors. Only thing I knew when we was going into the interview that we sat down, because we was doing the interview on No Jumper, and we just wasn't gonna let the white guy have us arguing.
Yes.
And as long as we did that, we was cool. But I would have brought that because I brought up, so I know that there's some things that we differ. So he's a FBA, so he doesn't accept anybody outside of American blacks. So he won't accept like a Haitian black, a Dominican black, Puerto Rican. Like he won't accept none of that. We do though. And so even when we had the conversation and I brought that up, he didn't really give me no resistance with it at all. But I did not know that he said that about white women.
Yes, he said a few things.
And that's so disingenuous, because when he talks about like the black woman being a monster, that's essentially what he's saying. He's not all the way wrong, but you could say that the black woman could say the same thing about us with the way we grew up. So should they abandon the same way you telling a black man to abandon a white woman? Abandon a black woman. Should the black man should the black woman abandon the black man? Because we will crucify the black woman if she does that. So it's almost like a hypocrisy, because on one side you're saying leave the black woman alone, but if the black woman dates outside of race, then you crucify her for it.
Well, they kind of get away with it more than we do, though. We don't no black woman has ever been boycotted by black race because she dated outside her race. But they actually boycotted black men.
Well, now you know the reason for that is because you could do anything to a black man. You can talk about him. You could talk about him to no end. You can only go so far with a black woman. Listen, you could be having a conversation about black people, period. And you can spend 15 minutes of how the black man got to be corrected. You get into 2 minutes about the black woman getting corrected, and you getting cut off. Stop. That's, you done said too much now about the black woman. It's only so much she gonna be able to take. But and the only thing I'll say is because it's hard for women because they live more in their emotions than practicality for them to
Yes.
take correction. Now, if you get a black woman that'll take correction, you found gold because that's hard. But they are black women out there. I mean, I have a few of them, so there are black women out there that will accept correction. You know what I mean? So, but
Yeah.
I'm extremely disappointed that he said that.
I'm disappointed more not in him, because I always tell people I'm not disappointed in leaders. I'm disappointed in followers.
Exactly.
You got people in the comment section and they're saying I misrepresented what he said years ago. Do you think they would have said something I said was misrepresented if I came out and straight said something like that? Do you think they'd have gave context? They don't give context about what happened with me on Fresh and Fit. They don't give context about what happened when Tariq came into the Vlad interview with me. They don't give context about any damn thing I say. But when it's somebody they like, they're saying, let me give context to it. And what context would there be?
I don't know what context you could be to that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like I could see if you made like one, if let's say if you're having a conversation and you say, well, the white man do this. If you talk about, that's one thing. He went on he had a whole breakdown on how good the white woman was. That's what he had. He didn't make like if you say any like you say the white man does this, black man don't do this. That's you make it one comparison, but you're not trying to belittle the black man. You're just trying to teach a point. If you're hearing that, what black woman hears that and then thinks he said, if you're gonna get with a black woman, get a mixed black woman. What the fuck is what we talking?
A white mom, because you don't want to use the black female influence.
Right. So he's saying the child can only be from a black man. If the child is from a black woman, so now not only is he bigging up the white woman and all the great things he does, he's telling black people if you do have a daughter, let it be from a man and not let her have a black mother. And a lot of times when I hear that, it speaks from, you could tell it's speaking from some type of personal experience that he had. It can't be from a general, because if you call yourself a leader, you have to always speak generally. You can't speak personally. And you can always tell when somebody is speaking if they speak it from a personal position or a general. And you can tell once he says, if you're gonna get with a black woman, get with a black woman, make sure she's mixed, specifically from having a white mom. Some black woman scorned him horribly. That's what happened there. Some black woman did that.
And I have no problem with people who've been scorned. I tell people all the time, if you've been bit by a snake, you can't get mad at a person for not wanting to be around snakes. Or there's been women who got raped in Central Park. They don't want to go run through Central Park anymore. You may say, hey, well, everybody in Central Park ain't raping, but you got to understand that she's just protecting herself. So I get it, and I'm not upset at that. But I don't like when people, and my biggest beef is you put that shit on me. You got that stupid crispy puppet running around talking about I'm saying what are white women at when it's you that's doing it. You made a video talking about I probably was hanging out with Puffy when they actually got a photo of you with Puffy. Like, it doesn't make sense. People are saying certain things, and it's like, it's okay when their friend does it. That's the biggest thing I don't like about us as black people.
Right.
We keep wanting justice from the world, but we want to give justice to each other.
Right. I agree with that. So, real brief. If you could give the StreamYard link there in my chat, if you could put it in my chat, because some people are asking.
Unless you make me a mod.
Oh yeah. Okay. Good. Okay. Put a comment in there, and then I'll make you a mod. Just put one comment
right there.
Okay. All right. Hold on.
But if I'm not a mod, it won't let me put a link.
Right. That's right. So let me see.
But then once I put the link in there, you can have you or whoever to put the link as the like pin it.
Yeah, I'll pin it to the top once I see it. Let me refresh this page real fast so I can see you. One of the
biggest things I love is the fact that when I see people, like, no one can ever defeat what I say. So they just, like, all the people from the other side, they don't defeat what I say. They just call me names the whole time.
Right.
The people in the comment section, they didn't say, hey, he played exactly what this other man said.
All right, I made you a mod.
He didn't respond and not say anything about it. Somebody said, are you going to ever let go of this beef? I was like, I don't have a beef. By that logic, y'all got beef with white people. when y'all always talking about what white people did. If I'm saying what you actually did, why is it you're calling it beef and you ain't addressing what he said? If he's had me saying it, y'all would have been tearing me up. Listen to the stuff he's saying. But when you said it's, oh well, I should be able to say it.
I just made you a mod too.
Yeah, I put it in there right there. So yeah, you guys can hit that link. Anybody that wants to come and talk, I'll put it in my comment section here on Rumble. Hit the link.
And I'm pinning the link to the top. I just pinned the link to the top on my channel. So if anybody, because this show is for y'all, like what we wanted to do this week is give y'all the opportunity to ask us whatever questions y'all want. And we're going to talk about the subject, of course, but I like the organic part where we could just come in and just talk about different subjects. Like we talked about the Joe Biden thing. We talked about this thing with a black man praising white women. I don't know if there's any other current events. I can't think of none. I know that Diddy thing taking all over, but I have a different position on the Diddy thing. I don't know. You say who?
I said I'd love to hear that. What's your thought on Diddy?
My thought on Diddy is that the only reason black people are acting the way that they're acting is because he's getting attacked or searched or investigated by white people. Because from my understanding, everybody has always known this about Diddy. This ain't nothing new, to my understanding. To my knowledge, Puffy supposedly sleeping with men, being bisexual and stuff like that has been known. I mean, we know that's right. Like that's why Mace left. We've always known about the Usher thing and everything like that. And when I see black people want him to get locked up, I'm gonna tell you how we suffer from white supremacy. So black people want Diddy to get locked up, and I'm not saying he shouldn't get locked up. If he committed a crime, he should get locked up. But at the same time that they're saying Diddy should get locked up, when Donald Trump got locked up, they wanted Donald Trump to go free. So they fought. They was like Donald Trump should not be locked up, even though he was actually arrested on charges. Diddy has not been charged with anything, and they already want him to be locked up. And when you think about it, Donald Trump had white people storm the castle for him. Now, I'm not justifying no wickedness. I'm just showing the level of loyalty that white people have for their own, even as he's getting charged, getting arrested, and black people joined white people with protecting Donald Trump. When Diddy does what he did, which again, there's no charges, everybody's saying get locked up, but everybody knew this about him before before his house got raided. Before he got raided, who didn't know Diddy was out the closet? You can find pictures of him dancing with his pants down. Get it.
I can tell you the difference though. The difference is what you said earlier. Nobody cares what happens to a black man. They want to destroy. Have you noticed that destroying a black man has not bothered people? That's why when people try to tell me black women got black men's back, that's bullshit. They got black men's back when they're dead, like George Floyd. Did they have his back when he was alive? No. All this whole we got your back, all these men that get destroyed by black people first. We are the main ones to do it. We're the first ones to turn our back on them. That's what happens, Jonathan, whatever his name was, just because he had a white woman. That's what happened to you. What the hell? We ain't never said that's what happened to you because this black woman got used by this white man. That didn't make any sense.
Right. No, and I agree with that. And there's somebody in the comment section that said Donald Trump didn't tell anyone to storm anything. That's cap. He said shit. Like you got to understand the code words. It happened so long ago. Like you got to understand.
How did you know the words, sir? Yeah. How did you know the white words?
When he was like, listen, when he started it, Tommy, he started it when he said, stand back or stand by. They were standing by for the call. And
I didn't know that's what it meant. The white supremacist words went over my head. I didn't read the playbook. Somebody got the playbook.
I was just paying attention. What? Stand back and stand by. To stand by, if I say stand back and stand by to somebody, that means that person or group of people is ready to do something, and I say stand back, stand by, that means don't do it now. Wait till I get a signal. Like if I told
Well,
you
what was the signal?
the signal was right before January 6th, because wasn't it like a time where it was gonna go in the books for Biden to be president and Trump was gonna be ass out? And they stormed that damn castle. I'm sorry. That's I forget the rest of what he said to kind of like
Yeah,
spearhead him.
I think you overstating what happened. And again, we got to look at it as white people were the most armed people in the United States. If they
Right.
really wanted to storm the castle, that place would have still been occupied today. Don't believe me? Remember what Clive and Bundy did, where the United States government had to make a deal with that white man and his militia because they couldn't go in there and out-arm him. You see what happened with Waco? Waco, them white people made the United States.
Well, that's a love of white people that they had. That's different. That's a love of white people that they had. Like they love white people so much they wasn't gonna storm and kill them little babies. They'll storm us, but they wasn't gonna storm them and kill them little white babies.
Kill white people all the time. You see what
not
what
babies though.
He did to the Murrah building. Yes, do you know what dude did to the Murrah building in Oklahoma City? When he blew it up, Timothy McVeigh, he put the bomb right under the nursery.
Well, but now you do got singular crazy white people. I mean, we got them all the time. I think the cat that did the wasn't it? There was just recently a shooting, right?
22 kids was burned to death in Waco, and they knew they was in there.
Yeah,
22.
Yeah. Well, I ain't never gonna defend the white man.
Never care about
I ain't gonna never defend the white man being a murderer.
Bigger impact. They know it make a bigger impact if you kill some kids.
I ain't never gonna defend him being a murderer because he's definitely a murderer. So I ain't never gonna defend
remember
that.
Y'all said it like, listen, white people just really haven't cared.
Right. I agree with that.
They took the Titanic down. They didn't really care who was in it, who was on it. They knew who was on it, matter of fact. They knew it was gonna make a big impact. So you gotta watch out. White people, when they kill, they gonna kill.
Okay. Ooh. So now I guess my next question is like, what made you when we agreed to the subject, what sparked this particular subject? If you want to leave with that. Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be real simple because I'm gonna win this one pretty much going straight in. Well, I don't know where you fall in. You might fall in. I don't think you can serve Jesus Christ, worship Jesus Christ, and not worship white supremacy, because the person that they put as the focal point, the forefront of their Christianity, their Jesus is this white man with blue eyes. And if that is the thing, like, I don't think you follow a group as a straight man. As the symbol of it was a naked man grabbing another man's butt. Like, that was the symbol. Where every time you log onto your shit, it's a straight man, it's two men playing with each other's butt. I'm pretty sure you as a straight man wouldn't say, I follow that. But yet black people who are against white supremacy actually follow a white savior. He's a savior. He is literally God. It is very difficult for you as a black man to even have in your own house a sense of I lead my house when your black woman got pictures on her wall, and 2 of the 3 pictures she got on her wall are white men, Jesus and JFK. The other one is a gay black man, or gay sort of ish, who was whoring out there, and that's Martin Luther King. Think about it. 3 or 4 men on her wall do not look like you or think like you, and she worships him. She calls herself his wife. That is my husband. Only man can lead me is that man on the wall. This blue-eyed man up there just a chilling, looking like he should be the 3rd Amendment of Hall and Oates. This man is telling your girl what she should do. She'll tell you she won't listen to you, but she'll listen to him tell her if she can listen to you. You cannot then say that your household will not worship white men. Your son and your daughter see a white man that is supposed to be all-knowing, omnipotent, omniscient. This is this white man. They don't say that about you. You don't look like that. That is a difficult thing to be able to overcome in your own household when you've given this picture of this white man that much power, and the real person that you are in your house doesn't have that kind of power. I rest my case.
I'm gonna add on with you and give examples, because whatever you give your spirit to, that's who you're gonna yield to. So if you at night saying, "Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep." And you got this image of white Jesus, and then you feel you oppressed by white people because you love this Jesus. It's going to be hard for you to look at Jesus as, excuse me, the white man as your enemy. You're going to look at it like, man, we got to get along. We have to, there have to be
Yes.
some middle ground because, my God, Jesus is, how could Jesus be white and white people be bad? That's what, have you ever seen that episode of Good Time? Have you ever seen that episode of Good Times?
Yeah, when they put that black Jesus up there and the women got
Yeah.
mad.
And them women was getting mad at him,
Man.
saying that that's not my Jesus. So I agree 100% at the title, because the title clearly says, how can you worship Jesus and not worship white supremacy? The problem with us as black people, we all have the Bible in our house, but we just accept what we're told about the Bible. So when they say Jesus is this string-haired white guy, and don't he look so innocent? He looks so innocent with the blue eyes, and you're like,
and they did it
oh,
wrong. They did him wrong.
yeah.
So we get to see a white person, no matter how brutal they are, is still the victim. We got to get along with them. The end game is this, so still a white guy. The end game ain't no black dude. If the end game was a black dude, some shit they couldn't do to us because they feel like they were doing it to their God. It's the same reason why the United States plays fair and well with Israel, because as a Christian country, we believe that those are the chosen people. So therefore, no matter what, we got to protect them.
Right. And so now where we come to kind of, when I'm saying we as Israelites, where we come to destroy like white supremacy, you have to, like Christ said in John 8:32, you shall know the truth shall make you free. So now when you think about, can you submit to Jesus and not worship white supremacy, we got to take Christ's words and then apply it. So how do you take Christ's words and then apply it with this title? There's descriptions of the Israelites in the Bible, including Jesus Christ. When it describes Jesus Christ. So now let's say if somebody commits a crime against somebody, the first thing they do is say, do you know what your assailant looked like? And then they bring a sketch artist. And so they bring the sketch artist. So they say, well, how tall was it? They say, well, he was like my height. So it might be like 6'5". Well, ain't a lot of 6'5" cats. You know, I'm 6'5". Ain't a lot of 6'5" people. So I'm going to say 5'10". What's the average height of a black person? 6'1"? Black man. So I'm going to say 6'1". 6 feet. Okay. So he was 6 feet. They're going to say, how did he look? He had black eyes. He had short hair. He had a beard. He was light skinned. They start describing him. And as you describing him, the sketch artist is drawing. So now when the police put out an APB,
at that point, he probably drew a nigga look like Fabio, the way you described him. This motherfucker's the most handsome nigga on earth. He's 6'5". He just drew at that point. The sketch artist need a drink of water. Hold on a minute. He look like what? We need to arrest this nigga. We need to find this nigga to strip him.
This boy is crazy. This boy is crazy. So and I want to highlight, and I like watching your chat, right? Because I'm looking at Jerome Bigham's in your chat, and he says it's always color don't matter until the truth come out. And that's a heavy point, because now when that sketch comes out and they give that to the police to go look for that assailant, as they drive it down the street, if he's not a 6'5" light-skinned 5-year-old looking nigga, they not gonna pull over and search him. So as they drive it down the street, if they see this white guy, they're not gonna stop him. If they see a dark-skinned brother, they're not gonna stop him. If they see a woman, they're not gonna stop her. It would have to look like me. So when we go into the Bible, like Revelations, the first chapter, and the 13th, you can start at verse 13. It says, in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with the garment down to the foot. So now we're getting a description of the Son of Man. The Son of Man is Jesus Christ. And it says he had a garment down to the foot and girt about the paps with the golden girdle. The golden girdle is talking about a war belt, or a belt that would go around his garment. And then it says, his head and his hairs were white like wool. So when it's talk about his head, it's talk about the hair on his head. When it's talk about the his other hairs, it's talk about his beard. And it says it was white like wool. So now we are getting that his hair was white and woolly. So now when you look at the picture that they give you of Jesus Christ, he don't have woolly hair. He has stringy hair. It says his eyes were as a flame of fire, meaning red, which represents the countenance that he had. And then it says his feet like unto fine brass, as if it burned in the furnace. When you take brass, it's brown, a derivative of brown. When you burn it in the furnace, it becomes very dark brown. So now, if that's the description of Christ, and you're going to say you worship Jesus, then you have to worship a black Jesus, a black looking Jesus. Like you ain't got to call him
that Christ they give you would be blasphemous to you based upon what you read.
Right. Exactly.
We accept it. Why is our mind set to accept the white version, even though we keep talking about what whites have done to us? We'd rather accept a white savior than a black one. Black people laugh at black people who have pictures of black Christ.
Right. And that's why I used the good time reference, because we could never believe. Here's the time you're gonna like this. We could never believe that a black man could liberate us. Ever. Think about it. Black leaders get rejected. The only black leader that was accepted was the non-violent one. The non-violent white woman loving one was accepted. That was the only one. Malcolm was not accepted. The Panthers was not accepted. Fred Hampton was not accepted.
I was not accepted.
Okay, yeah. Look at Tommy. Look at Tommy.
Say whatever you want to. It go be if what I was saying was so wrong, it wouldn't have been so many niggas who said I hate Tommy, and then they started repeating what Tommy said.
Right.
Yeah, they would be just completely against me. But instead, you have these people saying I hate Tommy, but part of what he said wasn't wrong. This part of what he said wasn't wrong.
Right.
And you can never get someone to open. And you see how easy I am to reach. I keep begging people to debate me on anything I've ever said. They won't do it. They just sit around and call me names. And it goes back to what Jesus said. Typically, a prophet is not wanted in or is not accepted in their own home.
They're not. No. Nope. And that's the thing.
You will never get over that. That's just a carpenter's son.
And listen, if you go back to Christ, Christ was a black leader that they rejected him too. And who did they reject him for? The Romans, which were white people. So they said
they gonna let a killer go free than this man.
Yeah, let a killer. When you go to John the 11th chapter, they said it's more expedient that one man should die because they didn't want to lose their seat with the white man, which lets you know when it comes to black people, whoever gives us money, that's who we serve. We don't, no matter what the oppression is, whatever the oppression is, we'll accept it. So if that means we got to get our back beat a little bit, drugs got to come in the community a little bit, families got to get destroyed, as long as you give me money, we good. And that's why it's hard. And when we go out on the street, man, Tommy, you'll be surprised how often black people come up to it. Like I got this video, Vladimir Putin. I don't know if you saw, but Vladimir Putin just recently showed old Russian icons. And when he opened it up, he's showing the black Jesus. I'm gonna send it. I'm gonna share my screen real fast. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about.
Play it for the people.
Okay, no stress. Let me share my screen here. I'm gonna share my screen. Vladimir Putin. It's this video. Let me see if I'm gonna try to enlarge it so we can see it. Let me know if you can see that.
Look at it. It's right down the screen. Look at it.
Perfect. Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna play. So this is what he was opening up. So I'm gonna play it. Now, just so everybody can understand, he hadn't opened it until he got here, and this is what he opened. That's Christ. Now, this is the true image. Now, Putin comes. Now, for us, there's a book. I'm going to stop sharing. So there's a book called The Russian Icons. And Anybody that goes up and look up the Russian icons, the first page will tell you is that these images survived the Renaissance era. There was a time called the Dark Ages. The Dark Ages was when black people was in charge in Europe. I know that's hard to believe, but when you go back in history, we ruled Europe. There's a famous quote that who is it? Benjamin Franklin said that we do not want America to be black like Europe. That's a quote he said because blacks was ruling. And so when the Renaissance era came, in that book, The Russian Icons, they're going to show you how they'll have that black image of Jesus and they're repainting him white. The image that we see of Jesus today is Cesare Borgia. Leonardo da Vinci painted him as Jesus Christ because they were lovers, which showed you how nasty, white people are. That was they took like the most nastiest, like Cesare Borgia. Not only was he a homosexual, he slept with his sister too. And as he's doing that, that's the image that you see. That's Jesus Christ. It's anybody can look up. They did a show on him on I think it was Showtime or HBO called The Borgias. The First Crime. They call it The First Crime Family. And he painted himself as Jesus Christ, and that's who you look at. So now we as captors or as slaves in here, if I enslave somebody and then I give a gift, because I gave that gift to the slave, all that slave is going to think is, he can't be that bad. He gave me this gift. And so now you start accepting everything I give you. Yep. And so we accept that white Jesus because he gave us a gift. And Jesus saves, and it sounds so good when they tell you, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. And it sounds so good when they tell you, and all we could think about is going to meet Jesus. So to answer the question, is submitting to Jesus white supremacy at the surface level? Yes. Without the truth, without going into the Bible and reading Jesus' characteristics, Jesus' truth, what Jesus was really about, you cannot submit to Christians' Jesus without submitting to white supremacy.
They're going to force you to do it, and that's how they designed it. It's a forceful thing. If you keep showing somebody that's you're good, you're bad, you're good, you're bad, they keep doing it, and it gets to push that whole narrative of white people are good. And even the idea, because when you listen to those people who the FBA people are saying, dear white people, give us reparations. Good things have to come from you. And I've always said, nobody gets on their knees and pray to the devil, yet we believe the white man's the devil. So why do we keep praying for him, begging for him, and asking him for gifts? We should not want any gift that comes from the devil, because that's what the white man seems to represent.
When you think about it, if you call a white man the devil, and then you pray to that Jesus they gave you, you praying to the devil.
That's my point.
And you wondering why your prayer's not getting answered. Somebody got to help me out. Somebody got to make that make sense. You can't.
I think we stepped on some toes this Sunday. I didn't mean to do it, but I think we done stepped on some toes. There's gonna be some people that done sit up here and says this is some bullshit. Somebody said I came here for a debate and all I'm hearing is jibber jabber. I'm out.
Because the truth hurts.
Yes.
And it's unfortunate. And then for them, instead of them saying that they're out, what I would prefer is for them to click the link and come and tell us how we're wrong.
Yes.
Like that. That's why we have it. So we can't help it. Let me tell you, me and Tommy cannot help it if at the outset we pick a subject that we might be at odds, because I don't know Tommy's history. He don't know mine. All we know is that there's topics out there that he's passionate about, I'm passionate about, we know the people will be passionate about. And then if we happen to agree, am I gonna be a liar and just disagree with Tommy so we can just fake argue? Or is it better to say we agree, and then if y'all disagree, we created this show for y'all to come in and present your argument. So
as a matter of
Jabber, show us where the lie is at.
We got a couple people. A couple people who want to jump in. You can keep going. I was just letting you know I'm gonna bring up a couple people right now.
Yeah, I'm ready now. Whenever they want to come up in here, I'm ready. Remember, the show is about me and Tommy could talk for hours. It ain't nothing.
Yes.
Like the girl made that song. We could talk for hours and hours and hours.
Well, let's get them to jump
Let's
in
get
there.
it. Let's get the callers in.
Devin,
Yeah.
Devin, you got a lot going on in the background, bro. What's up?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I'm sorry. Hold on. Is it me?
I don't know. I
said
thought it was
Devin.
Devin, but one of y'all got a lot going on.
The minister.
My background is quiet.
Okay, well then, Devin, you go first. Minister, you can mute yourself until you're ready to talk.
Hey, thanks for letting me. Can you hear me?
Yeah, but I was asking to mute you. We can hear you. Can you hear us?
I can hear you.
No. Oh, well, okay. He's on the dark side of the.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you. You but mute yourself. He'll get the message tomorrow. Devin, go ahead.
All right, thanks for having me in, man. I long time listener of Tommy. Also respect what ISUPK does and everything. In actuality, I always say if Tommy was to be something, he probably would be a Hebrew Israelite, especially the way he speaks.
Apocalyptic minister, mute your mic while Devin's talking, and then we'll come to you.
Yeah.
But I had a question. If you could just give me a second to set it up. If all things being the way that Tazaryach presents them, that blacks are the Israelites and all of those things. And piggybacking, I'm sorry, land back, and I ain't gonna disrespect my brother. Land backing off.
Hey, listen, I don't get caught up. I don't get caught up. It ain't unlawful to hop on a pig's back. It's only unlawful to eat the pig. You know what I mean? Like that, black people get over righteous. You just can't listen. A pig if you had a farm, the pig would be the garbage disposal in your farm. Having a pig on your farm is not unlawful.
Okay, my bad. I'm just joking with you. But if we're going back to the conversation that you guys had, the first conversations, which it was great. If we're going back to that first conversation and just talking specifically about who's more at fault or who's done more for the or more to black people to hurt them, whether it be themselves or white people, if we go by what the Bible says, at least from the Hebrew Israelite perspective, if you go back to Deuteronomy, I believe it's the 11th chapter, it's talking about God is talking to Israel and saying, hey, I set before you this day a blessing and a curse. So a blessing if we follow the commandments and a curse if we do not. We both know that
30 you talk
about. Okay, my bad. We both know that the commandments was only given to Israel. It wasn't given to white folks or no other nation.
Right.
So when he set that curse, that blessing and curse before us, if we chose to break those commandments, white people didn't make us. They didn't put a gun to our heads and say, break these commandments. They didn't do any of that. If we chose to break those commandments, how could it be anyone else's fault but ours? In actuality, if you think about it, if we're under these curses that are only our fault and only the fault of us, we're the one that did it, we're under these curses. Well, God is using a specific people to carry out those curses. So if we're the ones being disobedient, isn't in fact, when you look at it, they're the ones being obedient. They're doing exactly what the Most High is telling them to do. So if we look at the scriptures and look at exactly what's going on, at least from the Hebrew Israelite
that's
perspective,
a very good question. Right.
How can it really be? And even when you guys are talking about the white Jesus and all these things you guys say have came upon us because we chose to break those curses, or I'm sorry, to be disobedient.
Right.
And now because we're under those curses, how can it be anyone else doing something worse to us than we're doing to ourselves? Because if we stop and we follow the commandments, right, then things will change, right?
Right. I agree.
Hey, I
like. What do you say?
So yes, you want me to answer you now, right?
You can't have that conversation with people. People don't like too much facts. That's why whenever people say it's two things and they're diametrically opposed. One of them, they say the truth shall set you free. And the other one, it says the truth hurt. So which one is it? Because if it's setting me free, I don't know if it hurt. So maybe it's like setting me free, like in Saul. Like you got to cut your eye out to get set free. you got to cut your foot off so you can get set free. So maybe that's what it's like. Maybe that's what the truth is. The truth is like jigsaw.
Mm-hmm. So now what I want to say, Devon, that was Deuteronomy 11 and 26 is what you quoted. I just want to let you know you was right. I don't like, I'll never be dishonest with the text, right?
Appreciate it.
But your question was a good question. If we disobey God and the white man is the whipping stick, so to speak, how can we get mad at the white man? That's what you're saying, right?
Mhm.
Right.
So now I'm gonna give you a biblical answer because, of course, the answer can only come from the Bible. So this is Isaiah 47 and 6. It says, "I was wroth with my people. I have polluted mine inheritance," which goes right to what you were saying. Our disobedience is why the Lord allowed his inheritance to be polluted, because he was wroth with his people. He said, "And given them into thine hand." So now we was given into the white man's hand because of our disobedience, which goes right back to what you said. Then it says, "Thou didst show them no mercy." So when you say that the white man is doing what he's supposed to do, he's not, because we were put into his hand. But where was the mercy? Where was the stoppage of the raping, the pillaging, the destroying of our communities? Where was it at? There's never been no mercy. And it says, "Upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke. And thou said," this verse 7, "and thou said, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thine heart, neither didst remember the latter end," meaning they didn't think about what would happen at the end of them not having mercy. Verse 10, "For thou trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, None see me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge have perverted me. And thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me." It's just one more verse I want to read. And it says, Slaki, I'm sorry. Verse 11, "Therefore evil shall evil come upon thee." So although we sinned against God, as we repent from sinning against God, there is no mercy from the white man while we're repenting. We don't no longer want to get high, but we keep getting flooded with drugs. We keep getting flooded with crack. We don't all want to serve this white Jesus on this subject, but it keeps getting shoved down our throat. So there's no mercy from
You
them.
don't need to talk like that on sir. You don't need to talk like that on trans observations. Sunday.
Hey, I'm not going. I know you guys may not have went as far as to say that, but I believe that was done on purpose. You can't tell me that. You can't tell me that it was. Oh, we didn't know that. No, they knew exactly what.
Hey, Devon. Now, Devon, before you talk on that, which I want you to, do you understand the answer?
I do. I understand where you're coming from. However,
I got a response to that though. If you don't mind, I'd like to respond to the response, because first off, I want you guys who are watching this to understand how that's a perfect way of black males to be able to speak. He heard everything that Devon said.
Right.
Didn't cut him off one time. Listen to everything he said.
Absolutely.
Had a thoughtful thought of what he said, then had a thoughtful response ready for him, one that he can then have him go look up himself. Let that sink in. He didn't call him no name. He didn't feel like it was a direct attack against him. He literally just said, these words are from this man. I think he means it, and he has some merit. So let me give him the other side of it. And that's what a true debate or discussion is supposed to be about. And I say this to double back on it. Would you not think that the white man gave some mercy when he stopped slavery? When he's allowed us to be free now instead of under his bondage?
No.
Is that not a form of mercy? If you're saying what they did was so horrible, which it was, well, then they've reversed field on it.
No, so I just think they changed the method of torment, because when they so-called ended slavery, the 13th Amendment was enacted. Jim Crow was enacted. You had 100 years of lynching was enacted. They don't even have to keep us physically in chains. They put that white Jesus on us. Now we mentally enslaved. So they're so, like when the scriptures say he's more subtle than all the beasts on his field, his subtlety will make you believe that he freed us then because he stopped whipping us. But when you think about it, I was listening to this this interview that Captain Mawquad in my school was doing with one of the members of the Vice Lords, and they was talking about the church bombing in the 60s, right? They was talking about the church bombing in the 60s. Well, just a couple years ago, Dylan Storm went in the church and shot it up. So they haven't changed what they do. They just changed the method.
That man was not a white. He didn't represent white people. He represented himself. He's no different than the person who shot up Sandy Hook. He's no different than the black man who he's no different than the white man, the black man who shut up the party.
That's cap. Because a white man, because
no, you're cap. You're cap, sir.
I'm definitely capping. I'm gonna tell you why that's cap. Because the black person that's shooting up the party is not shooting up the party because they're black. He's just shooting up the party because somebody in that party pissed him off. When Dylan Storm,
everybody gotta get it.
No, but what I'm saying is, it wasn't like, man, I'm gonna shoot them up because they black people. When Dylan Storm shot them people in that church, it was because they was black.
First off, it's Dylan Roof. That is
Dylan
my
Storm,
homeboy.
Dylan Roof. That's your homeboy. Wait, hold on. Wait, Tommy, wait. Tommy, I'm about to put. Wait. You said that's your homeboy?
Uh-oh.
God damn. Tommy, you just said I almost had you last week. You almost had me last week. Now this week you talk about Dylan Ruth is your homeboy. What the hell is going on, Tommy?
Your girl Nikki said, wait a minute. Hold on a minute.
Like, what's going on? Wait, Tommy. Devon, you done open up something because you're gonna have to break this down. Now, I'm assuming Tommy trolling. I'm assuming he trolling.
No. But I don't know Dylan Roof. We ain't the same age.
Okay, all right. No sweat.
You have to ask though, like when you have someone, he says, maybe black people made him mad. He's not a white supremacist. Maybe it's a black girl made him mad. So he was like, I'm gonna shoot up the church. Remember, Ted Bundy literally was killing women that looked like the first girl who hurt his feelings. Right.
I wouldn't call that race driven because, like you said, But Dylan Storm, I'm trying to look up because that happened a while ago. So I'm gonna look up.
Or maybe name right is Roof, Dylan Roof. If you gonna say my nigga name, say it right. We used to say when he used to play basketball with me. He hit 10 3-pointers in a row. You know what we started saying?
Hey Tommy, you know they gonna make a gang of clips out of you, right?
Oh, I know.
Tommy said Dylan was his boy. They went to the club together. Boy,
he was playing basketball, and he hit 10 3-pointers in a row, and we started yelling in the crowd. The roof is on fire. He was on fire.
Now, and then I'm gonna tell you, you know that when he was doing the shooting as he's reloading, and here's what goes right to this subject of can you worship Jesus and not worship white supremacy? Because of white Jesus, they would not rush that white man. That's one white. Listen, one black man was supposed to take one for the team and just bum rush him real fast, and you wouldn't have lived. But you would have been a hero in that church. You know what they did while he was reloading, Tommy? They was praying for him.
No, listen, here's the biggest thing. Every other group, if you had an all-white church and one random nigga walked in there with a hoodie on, you mean to tell me they wouldn't have been looking at him, had somebody come check him? It's something ain't right about him. But just like when it's a black dude moving an all-white neighborhood, they tell one of their friends, go over there and talk to him. We need somebody to put some eyes on him. Look what they did with the young brother that was running down here in Atlanta, Amon Ra. He was running the neighborhood. They said he don't found him. What do we do when a motherfucking white man move in? We welcome his ass. White man come to the club. We don't say nothing about it. We be like, oh, that's a down ass white boy. He clubbing with us. Every time we have some white man come around us, we welcome his ass. You ain't as old as I am, but when I was little, they used to have this man called the insurance man. These old women used to have the insurance man come by. They would get this white man straight up cash money to his hand. They didn't know if they had an actual policy or not, and they would welcome this white man in. I remember my grandmother used to get a motherfucking white man. She would make him fry some chicken. She would she would feed this motherfucker.
God damn, for what?
It was weird. Yeah, somebody in the comment section say y'all invite them to the cookout. You ain't never heard no white people say because I say what I say or any other man say what they say. They invited to the cookout. We love to say
I
that.
agree. I agree. You listen. Not only do we love to say that, I was just talking about this on my radio show this past Thursday when Hillary Clinton. I remember when she was trying to get elected as president.
You said it right, Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, Hillary. Because remember, Hillary said some racist shit. I rock with that Hillary.
Yes.
Because when Hillary got, I'm gonna use that. When Hillary got on Hot Night, 105, they said, "What do you keep in your pocketbook?" You know what that white bitch said? Hot sauce.
Mm-hmm.
Sure did.
Now, why does she say hot sauce? So she can appear black. And then they fake the goddamn dominoes game, Tommy. They playing dominoes. She slammed the domino like she won, but she lost. They just staged the whole thing. And you know what they said? Hillary black because she got hot sauce in the pocketbook and play dominoes. We sell being black so easily.
Mm-hmm.
So easily.
Look, remember we said Ice-T's wife black because she had a fat ass. We said that Bill Clinton was black because he smoked weed, cheated on his wife,
and played jazz music, played saxophone. Like, come on, man.
Weird thing. They ain't never said
no matter what you do. Smoking weed is a white thing.
Listen, the first person to smoke weed was a Japanese person.
Oh Lord, right. That's the Pete. Well, that's that when they. Like when I watch, my favorite Western is Tombstone. And when them Asians came over here, they were smoking them pipes, had all type of opioid and all that nonsense.
They were getting gone. They were getting gone. They were getting gone. You were right here. They went there. They was getting gone. No, but they brought that opium. But yes, the first one, it actually, if I'm not mistaken, the leader, was it Kong? Kong? Genghis Khan, I can't remember who it was, but what happened was he ended up burning this plant, and he got high from the smoke. And then when he burned the plant, he said he saw a bird, and the bird told him to attack, and that's why he attacked. He attacked these people and took them over. But he said that's what happened. He burned that shit. I love historical facts though, and you and I gonna definitely get along since you said that Tombstone was your favorite movie. That is literally one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, listen, I never really watched Western, so the reason why Tombstone is my favorite movie is because it was my father's, right? And I watched that movie, and it's so many one-liners in there, like fucking Doc Holliday, played by Val Kilmer. It's so many bars in there when he be like, "I'm your Huckleberry, that's just my game." And he was like, "They win." He was like, "Listen, Val Kilmer played the hell out of Doc Holliday. I don't care what nobody say." When in the scene when Ringo come out there and he pull out the gun and he do all the moves with the gun and he playing with the gun, whipping it all around, and then everybody looking at Doc Holliday to see what your response, and he pull out the teacup. He pull out a cup like this, and he pull out the cup and he just flipping it. And he played him. Like that's to me. That's
you gotta understand. Ringo was actually afraid of him. Ringo knew
definitely. Because he was the up and coming faster. That's why when at that final scene, when he remember when he saw Doc, he was like, I was a kid.
He said, "Well, I wasn't."
Yeah, listen. He said, "You might have been playing. I wasn't playing, and this time it's legal."
You remember what he said? He said, "Why, Ringo? Like somebody just walked over your grave."
Because he saw Doc rolling up, and he was like, "Oh shit!" Because he thought he was gonna get slow ass Wyatt Earp.
It looked like somebody just walked over your grave.
Listen, it's so many one-liners. Like when Doc say, when they at that, and I will get back to it, but again, this is like I've watched this so many times. I know all the scenes when they finish that shootout and they down by the river, and the one cat says, "If that was my brothers, I would want revenge too." And Doc said, make no mistake about it. It's not about revenge. It's about the reckoning. That's a bar. That's me today.
You remember what your boy said? He said, after Wyatt had went out there and walked in the water, and he said, hell, I wouldn't do all this. He said, he said, why are you doing this, Doc? Because Doc was coughing up blood.
Yeah, Doc, yeah.
And he said, that's my friend. He said, well, hell, I got plenty of friends. He said,
I don't. And friends is something that
you have when you say that.
Word is bond. Think about that. Because I was going to say that, like, everybody you associate with is not a friend. There's somebody that is going to tell you the truth all the time. Going to be your boy all the time. Going to be a ride or die all the time. And it's not going to be for cameras. It's not going to be for privacy. It's just going to be who he is. And that's what he had with Wyatt Earp. And you can't value that. So you would literally ride or die for a brother like that or for a sister like that. There's so many bars in that movie, man.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's a way to live. And I love that part of it. Because to go back about this Jesus, right? A lot of people don't know Doc Holliday. He was a very religious man. He just lived an outside of religious life,
right?
But it always tore at him because like what happened with him was he got really sick, and that made him become disillusioned. But he always had this thought of he must maintain integrity. There's a certain amount of thing that needs to be done. And if you notice, Wyatt was able to get him to do shit that nobody else was.
Nobody else could.
Nobody else was. He would follow the fucking rule. He would follow the law. There was shit times where he normally wouldn't. He did it just for Doc.
Right.
I'm not for Doc, but Wyatt. And that's one of those things. And we got a couple people up here on the board.
Oh, we got it, man. You get to talk about this Western. We got to get these people up in here.
Drop down, man. Appreciate you, brothers, man.
Hey, no sweat, brother. Hey, Devon, that was a good question, and I appreciate you giving the scriptures and allowing me to give you the answer.
Oh, no problem, bro.
All right.
Hey, guys, if the link is in the description box on many of these places, it's also been put into, I know over on Captain Tazaryach's channel, they are putting not only the link to be able to come up here and join us, but the link has been it has been pinned on the top. So anybody that wants to come up here, we can talk about the subject or anything that you guys want to talk about. Amon Ra is on the panel. Go ahead, Amon Ra. Amon Ra has frozen. He is outside. His wife said, I don't. Yes, we can hear you. Your wife to put you out on the porch.
Nah, I would say both of you guys.
Yeah, you breaking up, brother. You might want to get closer. You might want to get closer to the Wi-Fi, brother, because you going in and out.
I think you.
Yeah, you got half a pie.
Hey, brother.
Let's close your wife. Go let you get to the house.
Come on, brother. Hey, Amon Ra. I don't want to join in the fun, brother. But the more you walk away, we can't hear you. Like you got to get either turn the Wi-Fi off or something. Like something. You need a better connection, bro.
Yeah, no, he done leaned up against the front door trying to get the signal.
Yeah, we can hear you now. We can hear you now, Amon Ra.
Go in the bedroom closet. Just talk real loud, real low. Just go in the bedroom closet, talk real low. She won't know what you're doing.
Now, what I want to say,
put the sheet over your head. Put the sheet over your head. Damn.
Ready now?
Yeah, we ready, brother. Wait, you asked if we ready when it's your connection. You can't ask if we ready. You can't ask if we ready, man. But what's going on, brother? You got it.
Yeah, peace out. Most High bless, man.
Most High bless you too, brother.
I want to say I rock with ISBK. I rock with Tommy. Tommy, I think you need to trademark that hair hat you used to say a long time ago. I used to die every time you said that, and now I see it. I can't help but say hair hat when somebody got them wigs. You need to trademark that, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But Cap, I do want to say, brother, all Christians are not submitting to these white supremacists, because when I preach, we know the white man is the devil. We know the atrocities that the white man has caused. We know that this is not the white man in this Bible story that we learn. So we don't put up no images of Christ, period, because we don't worship any graven image at all. So we are on that same line as you teach, that we think that, you know what I'm saying? So I just want you to know it's not all Christians, brother, because every Sunday I get up, I talk about what we need to do as Black people in our country, in our homes. It starts at home, and we know that the white man is the goddamn devil. And I do not play about that. So it's not all Christians, brother. Just want you to know it's not all Christians.
So
Now,
okay. So I want to ask you something, right? And
yes,
I want to preface it by saying Christ and said in
Mute,
John
mute
8.
yourself when y'all ain't talking, if you don't mind.
Yeah,
Some of y'all
apocalyptic minister, you got to mute yourself. So
yeah,
I just
apocalyptic.
want to
You
ask
got
you,
a
and I'm
lot
a
of stuff. You
preface.
just mute yourself until it's time for you to talk. Go ahead.
I'm a preface this by John 8 and 32. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. So I'm gonna just ask you a couple of questions, Pastor. Was you in church today? Yes or no?
yes, sir.
Is the Lord's service to be done on Sunday or the Sabbath day? Yes or no?
I think it should be on the Sabbath day.
So then I would have to ask you, why are you in Sunday service on the first day of the week when the Lord said his service was on the seventh day of the week?
I think the reason why we don't the reason why I was there today, because I take advantage of any opportunity, Cap, to speak the word of Christ, no matter when it is. Just like I don't do the Thanksgiving, I don't do Christmas either. But we know that this country has set aside those days to allow you to be off and gather with your family and take that time with your family. So if we're used to gathering on Sundays, then I'll gather on Sunday to speak the word on any day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. Now, that is something I can't control in my church because I am a part of the Christian Methodist Episcopal, so I can't just change the date. But that's
Well, them names be long as hell, Tommy. The Christian
yeah,
Episcopal Holy.
yeah. But
Hey,
it
I
starts
thought
out.
he was about to say, "Hey, look, man. I listen. I'm gonna take advantage of anytime they got free food. You mean they cooking? I'm eating." The way he said, then he said, you know, Thanksgiving, you know, Christmas, they motherfuckers, they got ham and chicken. I mean, you asked me to just, I mean, the Lord might be on Saturday, but they cooking on Sunday. I'm just saying.
So now, with that said, Amon Ra, with that said, when you say you doing that because that's the only day, this is why I prefaced it when Christ said, "You shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free." The scriptures say, "Wide is the gate to destruction, narrow is the way to the Most High." So why would you choose the wide gate? Why wouldn't you just choose the narrow gate, and whoever joins you in the narrow gate to serve the truth of the Most High? That's who the Lord wanted, instead of serving the wide gate.
Well,
Because there is no worship, there is no scripture that say you're supposed to celebrate the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ every year in that fashion. You're supposed to celebrate it by doing what he did. But there is a Passover that you're supposed to keep every year.
you're right. And see, today's sermon was not about Easter at all, because no, Easter is straight from hell. We know that.
Before you go, and I'm only interrupting you so you could properly answer me.
Yes, sir.
Here's what you're doing. You want to be the church that's different than every other church. But when you think about what you're doing it on the same day that every other church is doing. Just because your sermon is different, your worship is the same. You'll know how you serve the Lord by your worship. So if you were truly worshiping God, like the scriptures say, you must worship God in spirit and in truth. So if you acknowledge that the Sabbath day is the seventh day, you should keep your Sabbath. And if only one brother comes in on that Sabbath, then that's the only one the Lord wanted you to have. But what it sounds like is you would rather have hundreds in your church. So you're going to do it on a day that the Lord said was not the day. You got the floor, brother.
Okay. So yeah, that's not the intent. As I continue to grow and break off and do a little bit different, I'm going to take that opportunity, just like Christ still did things on the Sabbath, and the people get mad at him and ask him, why would you do this on the Sabbath? But I take the opportunity when the opportunity lends itself. So like I say, I rock with you. I understand you. I will take that in consideration, because like I said, you know, I respect you. But what I am doing, I just want you to know it's not all Christians that believe that way. I don't like, people just kind of put us all in one box, because we're not. You'd be amazed at some of the things that we teach back the same as what you teach. And so, we're all talking about the same God.
But you still kind of conform when the whole purpose of being, but you're a conformist when you say, hey, they would rather, because let me tell you, I found out today that I knew Chick-fil-A didn't open on Sunday, but I also noticed that
they good. I got them on. Let me see how they look.
So let me tell you what they did.
They good, probably. You can take them off.
Gino, you got to mute your mic, brother.
Somebody, when y'all got other shit going on, just mute yourself. And then when you're ready to talk, you can talk. But when you're conforming, because if you look at what Honey Baked Ham and Chick-fil-A did, Honey Baked Ham and Chick-fil-A, they would make the most money if they were open on Sunday. But their principles was higher than their want to make money. So I would assume if people believe that the Sabbath day was on Sunday, they wouldn't just say, well, because everybody else do it on this day, I'll do it. Because then you'll run yourself the risk of, well, what are some other things that the popular people do that you'll be okay with? Like how the Pope is acknowledging gays and trans because it's popular enough and he don't want to go against the grain. Well, I don't think that's what God called his people to do. As a matter of fact, your job is to always go against the grain. You're supposed to be light in the world. You're not supposed to make yourself of the world. That's just me.
That's 1 John 2:15. What you said, it says, love not the world, neither the things in the world.
Right.
That's what that scripture say. Let me just read the rest of it, because Tommy, one thing, if y'all don't know, Tommy liked them scriptures to be read. So this is the rest of it. It says, if any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him.
That's right. That's right. And like I said, we all are unrighteous. None of us are worthy to even gather the crumbs under the table. We all fall short in some way or another. And so I just want you to know what I am doing is trying my best to bring the world or my congregation back to Bible and back to the way it's supposed to be, as much as I can and as methodical as I can. I just want you to know I'm not there worshiping or thinking about white supremacy or Christmas.
But you are white supremacists, though.
We don't.
You following their day of when they say God.
The only reason you doing it on that day is because they told you to. That's not the Passover. Passover is April 20th.
But think about it, Tazaryach. That tells you how powerful it is. He says he knows the truth, but he's still doing it their way.
No, it's not. Right. I'm a part of something bigger. It's going to take time to be able to break away and do my own church.
So now I'm going to tell you like this. Abraham departed from his father's house to serve the Lord by himself when his father was serving everything else. When you go through the scriptures, everybody, every prophet, every man that truly loved God separated themselves from the masses to serve God. You keep waiting. You in the organization. You in that organization because you're somebody in that organization. Go be a nobody for God, and then you'll be a somebody for God. Me myself, I grew up in a Christian church myself. Grew up in the Christian church. My grandfather was a pastor and the whole nine. When I saw the lies of the Christian church, I left it. After 33 years of praising and thinking about this white Jesus, when I found the truth, it came a point in time when I had to say, enough is enough of the lies. And I went and served the Father in truth and spirit. So Amon Ra, first of all, it's weird having the name Amon Ra when you a pastor. That's weird first, because Amon Ra is Egypt. That's some Egypt stuff. So the first thing I would suggest, change the name, change the God. Don't be a white supremacist. Don't say to yourself, I'm going to teach this sermon different than what they're doing, but you're doing it on the day they told you to. You can't do that.
Okay, well, let me finish. I serve the Lord and preach the word on every day. That Sunday is not the only day that I take the time to bring the word. I do it online. I do it as much as I can wherever I am. Second of all, my name is Amon Ra. My name is Amon Ra because my father named me that at birth. Okay.
So just so I can be clear this for my listening audience. Hold on. That's your act. No, I'm because the audience will hear me. I just want to repeat what you said. You saying you was born with the name Amon Ra.
Yes, sir. father named me that at birth.
Okay, that's different. Okay, so
Nice.
everybody disregard. That's his actual born name.
Yes, sir. And my father died when I was in 6th grade. Loved my father. I would never change my name.
No, I
And
wouldn't either. I get it. Now here's what only thing I would say is that, like, and now I'll give y'all a personal part about me. When I got my name, I don't talk about this part. I've never said this publicly, right? But I'm gonna say it today because you mentioned your father giving you that name, right? My name Tazaryach means castle or stronghold. That's what it means. Before I got my name, I had a dream. This is not cap, and I've never said this publicly, right? So before I got my name, that means castle or stronghold. Here's the 2 dreams that I had. The first dream I had was I was on like one of them old ships, like boats. And I was in like a moat going down to a dungeon. When I go down to the dungeon, there's a body there. And it has like a veil. Like you got to be a little older, like in the movie Golden Child, when they had that thin veil laid over. So it's a male body, a black male body with a veil like that over it. A white man comes down into the dungeon where I'm at. He looks like the white man that played in Underworld, the vampire, the
A
Victor.
lot of white people in your dreams, sir. But go ahead.
Shut up, Tommy. So
What
he looked
happened
like
to that white
Victor.
man came down now? You said it was you said it was like the golden child. You said
I want to
know the name.
So he looked like Victor from Underworld. So he comes down and he's coming down to kill that body. So he pulls out his sword to go and kill that body. I pull out my sword and we're sword fighting in the dream. That's the first dream. The second dream I had was
You can't be speaking like that on this dadgum day of transsexuals. You were not sword fighting with another
I was
man.
sword fighting in the dream. Sword fighting to defending the body of Christ. And then the second dream I had, my father rises up out of nowhere and he says, "Are you ready?" And I said, "Ready for what?" And he said, "You know," and he anointed me in the dream. And then I got my name after I had those 2 dreams. So what I'm saying is there'll come a day, Amon Ra, where you will be blessed with a different name. But you're not going to get that name if you don't separate from that wide gate. You got the floor, brother. And we got other people that's
Yeah.
on here that want to talk to.
Yeah.
I was just actually told the same thing that what you were going to say before you said it, that God gave people a new name when they came in.
Exactly. Always. He always gave them a name.
Because if you think about it, holding on to your name is still holding on to the world.
So I'll
That's
say,
why when they asked Jesus, what did Jesus say when they said, "Jesus, your mother is out there"? And he said, "And your mother and your family is out there." He said, "My mother is and my family is here. It is the people who follow Christ." These people were just born. I was born into with these people. The people who are really my family are these people who believe what I believe in or are after what I'm after. And that's a very difficult thing to say. And your mama is in earshot can hear this. So your mama had to understand, hey, the body of the body of the Lord, the service of my father is the most important, paramount, nothing else. It's hard to get to that place because you're usually by yourself when you do.
I appreciate it. Like I said, I appreciate it, brothers. Continue to pray for me as I continue on my journey to do all things right and exact as the scriptures say.
Amen.
Just know that there's no white supremacy in my heart. I teach with the very veil of my fiber to make sure that my people understand what this world is really about and what this word is really about. And I appreciate the time on the panel.
Hey, no sweat, brother. Take care. Shalom.
Hey, he took the correction actually.
He took it real good. And Tommy, what you highlighted earlier when the other brother, what's beautiful about what's taking place is that all black people want to be is heard. You in an environment, listen, man, they tell you, listen, they used to say, man, you go on Tommy's show, he ain't gonna let you talk. And I said, well, damn, that got to be a lie. Got to be. Because we talk. And like I said, me and Tommy probably talk once a week verbally. Everything else is text. Everything else is text. Even before we get on the show, what's the title? Okay, good. And now we just sitting and then we just popping up live, just doing it live. And so what's happening is that as long as you allow people to talk, it'll be solid. It's only when you allow people not to talk, then they want to be heard. Then, of course, there's an issue there. All right.
Shit gonna make.
Hey, where the
Let's go
sister
ahead.
go? Damn, what
Yeah, I
happened?
was mad. Tinsley, come on back. I think they may be having some problem because I see them falling off. And
Yeah, if the sister come back, I know. Yeah, and I know Apocalyptic is on here, but I wanted to give the sister. Listen, we want to hear from the sisters. So come on up here.
Right.
But Apocalyptic,
Well,
you
she ain't
got it.
here.
Yeah,
Yeah, let me.
we don't want a whole show full of sword fighting.
Yeah, Apocalyptic, you got just.
Hello, good evening. I'm sorry.
Hey, sis.
Well, you know what? I'll be a gentleman and let the sister speak.
There you go. Let the sister speak. Go on, Tinsley. What's up, sis?
First, I wanted to say hi to Tommy. Love seeing you. But
Okay,
my
there
question.
you go, Tommy. Okay.
But I wanted to talk to you, Elder. Yeah, Tommy, I love you. But I want to say good evening. I love you. I love everyone on this panel. I wish the best.
Me, and only me.
We gotta highlight that, man. She loved Tommy, man. We gotta highlight that because they swear the black women hate Tommy.
Go ahead, you.
Oh no, I called Elder. I got introduced to you because of Tommy's show. I've been watching Tommy for years. I donate to him. I enjoy his show, but now
give that a round of applause, man. Get that a round of applause,
all
man.
praises to the Most High because
that's right.
Because of me seeing the first debate through Tommy, now I watch you. You know, so
that's what's up. Was you the sister that called and came on the show? My show last week or 2 weeks ago?
Yes, I am.
Okay, got you. Okay, got you. Yeah, listen, Tommy, you sending the sisters over here. Let me look at the profile.
You might go around think I'm light skinned, finding the women are, but go ahead. I'm light skinned on TV.
Yeah, listen, I told you we reversing it, the yin and the yang. I'm the dark skin, you the light skin one.
Yes. Go ahead, beautiful sister. Tell them how much you love me. I mean,
where'd she go? Boy, y'all with these. Y'all gotta get these Boost mobile phones together. I'm just joking, sis.
I had a question for the elder, and unfortunately,
I'm not an elder. You can just call me Cap. You can just call me Cap. You can call me Tazaryach. I don't like being called elder. I mean,
okay,
I appreciate it. Thank you.
That's he being light skinned again.
He
don't want to give his age. You can't ask him his age or his weight. He think it's offensive.
Now my weight, I'm cool with. I'm cool with the weight. I'm cool with the weight.
Hopefully the pastor is still here because I had a question for him too. So it was two questions. The first question,
pastor's not here, but you can go ahead and ask your question.
I was just hoping to know, even though he said he does not, he's not a white supremacist and he doesn't believe in certain things, I wanted to understand why he would not worship on a Sabbath day, a very important day. Despite it, he mentioned he takes advantage to worship the Most High any day. But my concern is that one day is so important, especially for us, especially honoring the Most High God. So I just wanted to understand his mind frame, to understand where his mind was coming from. And my second question to him was, is he doing this for money that he receives from the government as a Christian pastor? I wanted to know if any of those myths that I've been taught were true, and if he's actually receiving any kind of money, and that's why he's pushing false knowledge to our people. Okay.
I think Tommy answered that question better when he said, wide is the gate. And I think that's where a lot of us fail. But he's not here to answer the other part of the question, sister. Did you have something for Tommy or myself? You want to keep telling Tommy how much you love him,
Oh, goodness. I actually have a question for you.
Okay,
I'm so happy that Tommy's here and I'm seeing y'all. It's a beautiful thing. But I do have a question for you, Cap.
Okay, what's up?
Why do you believe in polygamy? That's the only thing that my mouth dropped when I ended the last debate.
Right.
And twice at first I thought it was a joke, but then I'm like, I think he's serious about having more than one wife. And it kind of broke
serious.
me.
I'm dead serious.
You said what happened when you heard it? You said what happened?
It broke my heart because I was thinking
you said something else happened. You said something else happened.
I don't know what I just said. What did I say? I thought
your
I
mouth dropped. You said your mouth dropped.
It's just a
Oh
mouth
goodness.
drop.
You see, I expect
You know what that sound like, Tommy?
Yeah.
It almost
your
sound
mouth
like she was about to
dropped
be
right
on the
off.
team. It sounded like she was trying to get on the team, Tommy. And she
No,
found
Cap.
out she got the joke.
I
Listen,
thought she was saying, hey,
Cap, I
hey,
know you're
yeah.
a very
Hey,
righteous
Tommy, she
man.
thought she was gonna be the only player. Then she found out she might be the sixth man, and she was like,
No, but I know you're a very righteous man. I know you're
definitely righteous,
and
definitely
that you
righteous.
fear the Most High. And I just wanted biblical
Mm.
scriptures to back this up, because I don't understand why you would promote something like this, especially to our brother Tommy and other young men.
Mm.
And then if you are going to pull up scriptures that I think you may, can you equate it to regular men right now in this time?
Okay.
Just to teach me, maybe my ears are open, but that was just,
Okay.
I just wanted to know
What's
about
this?
that. Thank you.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for breaking your heart. It sounds like through Tommy, you thought you was gonna be a part of Captain Tazaryach. That's just what it sounds like, right? I'm sorry for breaking your heart. I'm sorry for your mouth dropping. But if you get over that, stop. But all right, let me get back to being serious. I'm just teasing, sis. I'm just teasing. So now, biblically speaking, well, first of all, I don't teach that men should get more than one wife. I think that's important, right? Because every man is not fit to handle one woman, because they don't know what the value it is. Because when you sleep with the woman, that's your woman forever. You can't sleep with her and throw her away. We are taught in today's society that you're not married until you get a piece of paper. That's what we're taught. But the most valuable thing that you can give to your opposite sex is your body. So
Yep.
that's the first thing that we teach. So you have to be taught properly. As far as polygamy, you don't find the word polygamy in the Bible, but you find that men had more than one wife in the Bible. Period. The 12 tribes of Israel was mothered by 4 women from one man. Jacob had 4 wives to bring together the 12 tribes of Israel. Jesus Christ himself, this is what Christ said was the kingdom of heaven. This is what I'm going to read. This is Matthew 25:1. It says, then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. So now Christ starts the parable by saying the kingdom of heaven is 10 women getting ready to marry one man. And he called that the kingdom. This Jesus Christ, this the king. Out of those 10, he married 5. So even in the kingdom of heaven, Christ got 5 wives, because Christ was the bridegroom. The women metaphorically was that. You see laws in place like, if you get another wife, the duty of the first wife shall not diminish. So and now that battles divorce, because the Christian church teaches that if you want another woman, you have to divorce the first woman that you was married to. The Bible says if you want another woman, just don't diminish the first wife you was married to. So the Bible is totally monogamy as a law is only a white culture.
Yes.
Having more than one woman is not even an Israelite culture only. Arab cultures got it, African cultures got it, East Indian cultures got it. The white man is the only one that came and mandated and said you can only be married. And here's how you
And
know.
that was just because of land laws. That was
Thank you.
literally
I was about to say. Yeah.
land.
No, that's what I'm about to say. And that's only contractual. It is not unlawful for a man in America to say that he has 5 women. It's only unlawful if he has a government contract with more than one woman. So like let's say if I have a legal binding marriage contract with one woman, if I was to get a legal contract with the second woman, then I'm breaking American law. But if I said I had 10 wives, I'm not breaking no American law, and I'm not breaking no biblical law. I want to read one more scripture and then I'll yield. This is Jeremiah 29 and 4. It says, "Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, unto all that are carried away captives, whom I have caused to be carried away to Jerusalem unto Babylon. Build ye houses and dwell in them, and plant gardens and eat the fruit of them." Verse 6, "Take ye wives." It don't say take you a wife. It says take ye wives. So there's nowhere in the scripture that mandates you have to have one wife or 10. The scriptures say don't multiply wives to yourselves that it turn your heart away from the Lord. You can have one wife and it turn your heart away from God. You can read in the book of Ezekiel, the Lord gave Ezekiel's wife a stroke. He had one wife and gave his one wife a stroke because he loved that wife more than he loved God. So, sis, we don't teach that a man, and the reason why I like that you asked that question, because a lot of men become quote unquote Israelites because they think it's about having more than one wife. And that's the type of man you should avoid. If that man is not trying to keep you and be with you forever, don't be with him. But it is not unlawful, sis. I'm done.
I
Thank
want
you
to know
so
your
much.
stance, Tinsley. I want to know how you think. I want to know if he see a light skinned man can tell you got to share him. I'm dark skinned. I'm lucky enough to get one
Man,
woman.
drop it to a time again. Drop it.
So what did you think of what he said? Because I'm 100% in agreement with everything he said.
What you think,
laughing at
Tinsley?
some
What's
real
up,
shit.
Tinsley?
I mean, I'm just gonna. It's from the Bible. I'm just gonna pray on it. I know I love God. I
There
want to
you go.
honor Him,
Hey,
and I
are
don't
you
have
married,
any.
sis? Are you married?
No, and I don't have any feedback on it. I'm happy that you shared, and I'll just, maybe my spirit. Hopefully, God willing, like the
If you got any
pastor pray.
questions, you can always contact me, sis. If you got any questions.
Thank you
And
so
I
much.
can help you out, Tinsley, because all you you said you're gonna pray, so just come through and I counsel people. So just get on your knees.
Tommy, why are you so awful? And then, don't let him rub off on you. Don't let him rub. Because Tommy's a no, but seriously,
You need
thank
to
you,
get your
brother.
head out of the gutter. I was just saying, you need
He is so.
Tommy, wow.
He's too wild for me.
I can't have any conversation with you guys.
I hope you
She did
all
say
have
she
a
liked to
beautiful
pray,
night.
though, Tommy. She did say she liked to pray.
Yeah,
I mean,
she said she liked to praise 4-5 times a day. Find yourself on your knees.
I'm about to drop the call, but have a good night, guys. Take
all
care.
right,
Thank
sis,
you
take it
so
easy.
much. Take
But I
care.
was
Bye
serious
bye.
though. If you have questions, sis, you can always come. I'm on Instagram, Facebook. So if you got any questions, you could just ask.
Thank you. And I'm about to hit your Cash App now. It's under
Thank you,
Tinsley.
sis.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it.
And
There you
that's what
go,
I'm
man. Make
talking
sure
about.
y'all hit Tommy's Cash App. Y'all see his Cash App, $ TJ Sotomayor. Y'all see my Cash App, $ Tazaryach. Y'all make sure y'all hit that Cash App.
Look, I always say this. I get enough just the fact of the love from the people. And if I can do something with my brother's way, because I gotta say to you, you have not had to be as gracious as you have been with me. You have been. And I want to tell you from brother to brother, I 1000% appreciate it because you didn't come in with preconceived notions of what somebody else told you about me.
Right.
You talk to me yourself and let yourself get an idea of who I was. That
Definitely. Tommy, let me tell you what I loved about it. And because I always say, like, because I'm vilified so much. Listen, I had a brother talk. You know that leather vest I wore the first time we had when you said I had my whole garb on. I had a brother mad because I had a leather vest on. So I'm used to getting vilified, and so I said to myself, man, let me talk to this brother. And I remember the first conversation we had. We talked about houses. We didn't even talk about what we was going to do on the live. We start talking about houses. I'm telling you how I just got my house. You telling me how you got the house. We had a whole brotherly type of and from that moment, I said, this nigga is not what they say he is.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
We
And
didn't
I
talk
think
about
that's
none of
what
what
makes
we were
us
supposed to talk about. That was cool. We didn't talk about we were supposed to talk on the show and end up just talking about regular dude shit.
Regular dude shit. Damn, they're like brothers that was like cool. Maybe like we grew up together as kids and then got separated and then got reunited. So now we updating each other. Yeah, I got this house I'm doing down here. I got my basement like that. We talking like that.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So I was the same exact way, man. So I'm glad you said that because I feel the same exact way as far as being a brother. You know what I mean? So I appreciate that. I think
Now, which one is
apocalyptic
it?
is
Apocalyptic or Geno? Which one is
it's
it first?
apocalyptic. It's apocalyptic, Geno, and then Thawar. That's the order.
Okay, apocalyptic. You got the floor.
Yes, sir. What's going on, fellas?
You clean too.
What'd you say now?
I say you sounded clean too. You just got a delay.
All right, that's what I was getting ready to ask, because the last time I thought I was probably a little bit too loud.
No, you need to go. You solid.
All right, appreciate it. I want to say, first topic, I want to say to Tazaryach, I actually watched your video, I think it was a few days ago, where you had a discussion with two guys on there, and it was just so much ignorance, and it's just good to see a show where us as Black people, we can get together and talk and actually and even have women in here and actually have a discussion without it being ignorant. It just don't make sense. But yeah. But my second topic is on the subject itself. And as far as the white supremacy thing, I listened to a man. His name is Neely Fuller Jr. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of his name, but his main statement is if you don't understand white supremacy, everything else in society and life will confuse you. So, in my opinion, I think that would definitely apply to religion, but I don't necessarily believe that being a Hebrew Israelite or believing in the true Christ is a religion. I don't follow that ideology. I believe that Yeshua HaMashiach is the truth, period. That's it. So, just the religion part is, when people say it's a religion, that throws me off. And then we got to still turn around and deal with all the talk of white supremacy, and we got to walk around and deal with that on an everyday basis. So, I don't know if that's actually a question, but I'm just saying.
What we're saying.
You guys can come up.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. Right. This is for y'all to do whatever y'all want.
Yeah, I just, I feel like it's good to see this as a people. It's good for us to talk about this, man, because I don't have anybody in my family to talk about it to. Last night my niece called me, and she puts my great niece on the phone to ask me about it, and she hasn't talked to me about it in probably about 2 or 3 years, if then. So, and I gave her. This is what I told her, Tazaryach. I told my great niece asked me. She said, "Why did they kill Jesus?" And I told her, I said, actually, we killed Jesus. I said, the reason Jesus was killed was because he paid for the sins that we made. And I tried not to elaborate too much because she's only like 7 years old. But it's kind of difficult to talk to her about it because you don't want to. Kids will hear certain things, and then somebody else will come along and tell them something different. And then they got to sit with that in their head. And so, I try to keep it easy, but, it's good to hear y'all talking about it, brothers.
I want to say this, and I'll see if Cap would agree with me or not. But I think that it is a charge of men to be curious, and that is how we ended up being scientists and doctors, because we as men, our job is to hear questions and not respond to them emotionally, but respond to them logically. That is our job.
That's right. That's
children right. Don't they want, like they expect us? If you have any children, your children expect you to be really more honest than their mothers. Really
absolutely. And see, that's the trouble. That's the trouble. Is sometimes when we start being honest like that, that's when I get in trouble. When I just put out the straight honest, it's always an argument. It's always, of course, it's a pushback from the kids sometimes.
I gotta say it to you, brother. That's the pushback against the patriarchy. Whenever it was men, it used to be literally you would go to your mom for a compliment. You would go to your dad, and they would tell you what the world was and how you were going to be treated. That's what it was.
That's right.
In between.
That's right.
And now what we've been told as men and women that we want to go to people who are going to back up our confirmation bias. We need someone that's going to say, yeah, I agree with you. We can't fit in the world today without someone telling us we agree with what you're saying. And that's anti the patriarchy, because a man who runs his family, his wife or wives, his children, and is the protector, what is his job? A lion doesn't allow a lioness to do whatever the fuck it wants, because it's his job to protect the pride, is it not?
Woo. You know, that goes
That's
back
right.
to what y'all was talking about last time. You know, how can I protect you if you don't listen to me? Hello?
That's it.
Real talk.
No, that's it. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I ain't got nothing. I'm just agreeing with what you said. Like, we are.
Yeah.
There was this video I had put on my Instagram where they did a study on how men are more practical, women are emotional, and they did it with babies. They put this obstacle in front of boys, and the boys figured out a way to get around it. They put that same obstacle in front of girls, and they sat there and cried that somebody came in and did it. And you want nurturing? You can't come to the father crying and you want that nurturing shit. You ain't gonna get that. You gonna get a hug, but it ain't gonna be with the affection that a mother will give, because that's a mother's job. Just like when you come into a mother and you want the problem solved, that's not her job. When you want discipline, that's not her job. That's why even when a mother disciplines on any level, she has to talk like a man. Boy, get the fuck. That ain't how she's supposed to talk. She's supposed to send it to the
holler.
man. I remember Chris
And
Rock
she's
made it.
out of her place when she does it. Notice
Yeah.
when a woman beats the child, she's out of her element. Because one, what you're teaching that boy is something that he's not natural to. So when he gets 10, 11, when you pop him, it don't hurt. Two, when you pop him, it's out of an emotional response. Dads, we're not going to beat our daughters or sons emotionally. It is going to be to learn a lesson the same way you teach a dog. Hey, and think about it. If a dog pee on the carpet and you beat him the next day, then he learn not to pee on the carpet.
Right.
He doesn't.
Nope.
Because he didn't do it like that. Think about what happened with a lot of mothers. A lot of mothers would beat their child on Friday for what they did on Monday, but because on Monday they were happy, they didn't do anything. But on Friday they were mad because of what was going on at work. They beat their child because of that, and the child didn't learn.
Real talk. Real talk.
That's absolutely right.
I echo
So
Tommy's sentiments on that one.
So let me ask y'all one more question, and I'll let the other gentleman have the floor. I don't know if y'all subscribe to any of the beliefs on the Willie Lynch Letter. So the Willie Lynch Letter said this about us as Black people, and the reason why we still in this perpetual cycle is that they trained the Black woman to be able to emasculate the Black man, and then or the Black boy, and then that cycle continues. Because when you guys were talking about the Christianity earlier, Tommy, you were saying that you cannot worship Jesus Christ unless you worship in white supremacy. I think it's the same sentiments. It goes all the way back to that Willie Lynch idea. Is the cycle's been perpetuated over and over throughout the generations. And so we've come to a state now where they don't have to enslave us. We have enslaved ourselves mentally. So they don't have to tell us what to do. We instinctive, especially since we were all raised by Black mothers, and my father was in prison. You know, so I feel like that truth of what you were saying is true. That if you worship in the white. If you worship in the white Jesus, the Catholic Church, or Christianity, that you really are just following after what was in the Willie Lynch Letter.
Yep.
My position on the Willie Lynch Letter, you could tell there was something written later, but it is truth in it. But it's not, when you do the research on the Willie Lynch Letter, it's not, there wasn't nobody named Willie Lynch, but it is somebody that was able to write about what they could do to us and how they would manipulate us. So it's factual information in there, but it's a fictional character that it's based on. But it is right though.
Yeah, and doesn't it seem like it's everything that's been said in it is just on par. It's to the T, man. When it says that we won't be able to come up out of it because we're going to have too many obstacles, too many worlds of confusion to be trying to fight. That's what we're dealing with. I had a brother up at the store, and I'm gonna say this last part, and I'm gonna get off here. I'm talking, man. I had a brother up at the store, man, and I was talking to he's wanting to be an Israelite, so I was talking to him about his belief and telling him what I believe and who I follow, kind of giving him the ISUPK's information, and he said to me, he said he don't think that we have a chance, that we can't come up out of this because the white man has too much power, and they have overcome everything, and they just too powerful. And I told him, I probably sounded, it probably seemed like an insult the way I said it to him, but I told him straight up, I said, you sound like David's brothers in the Israelites, that they were scared of the Philistines. Like, we can't be afraid like that. We got to be able to stand up to these people, but we got to be smart about it.
What's going on over there, Cap? What's going on with your mic? It's doing something.
That's apocalyptic. He came in and fucked up
okay,
everything.
We're gonna drop you apocalyptic for a second, and we're gonna
watch it get back normal. Because they were saying the same thing on my side, that you was low, and then your side was saying I was low.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Apocalyptic came in and bought the Apocalyptic Mic Killer. That's what he bought in here.
Damn it.
Hey, shalom, Cap. Hey, what's good, Tommy?
Hey, shalom.
What's going on?
Hey, it sounded like it was a tuba playing back there. It was.
Yeah, man. You ain't hear that humming in the background, Tommy?
Yeah, I heard it, but it sounded like a motherfucker was trying to like brainwash you. You know, when they on the sci-fi movie, it sounded like yeah.
I didn't know what the hell was going on, man.
Yeah, that's funny, man. Hey, so I got like three things. I'm gonna just talk about. I'm gonna get to the topic last, but I want to just talk about earlier, when you was responding to the sister about polygamy, right? What I wanted to add was that in Rome, monogamy was the law. That was their way in ancient Rome. It was monogamy. And then I would have asked the sister, like, so how has monogamy been doing for Black people in America? Like, is it successful? Like, how successful is that? You know what I mean?
That's heavy.
And, yeah, so that's what I wanted to get out about that with that sister. And what the brother that was just on, he was talking about the Willie Lynch letter. Part of the reason why I came into the truth, Cap, is because of the Willie Lynch letter. I had in the world, I had an ex-girlfriend that had emailed it to me, and I looked it over. I had never seen it before. And it started to make me question, why were Black people in the condition they were in? This is around 2009. And I started to question and say, he was saying some things that are true that's in there. And like you said, Cap, what I found is that Willie Lynch wasn't a real person. It can't be corroborated as a real person.
Right.
But
yes, it was written after the fact. It was written after
exactly.
The fact.
Yeah, it was written after the fact.
George Lucas writing the prequel to Star Wars.
Right.
Star Wars end was already there, so he just wrote the beginning, but it wasn't written first.
Exactly. And what the brother was saying, I'm going to help him out. In that letter, it was also saying that if nothing happens...
Well, it don't sound like you coming out your mic. It sounds like you coming from something else.
Yeah, out of the air, out of
it sounds like you might your camera's mic or something, because you usually clear it in that. Just so you know.
Just give me 1 second.
No problem.
1 second.
Well, as we do it, as he looks for that, I want to say this, and I'll toss it back to you, Tazaryach.
Yep.
The idea of what he said was how successful it's been. I do believe in asking that question. Whatever it is, someone that they do it, you should be able to ask them how successful that's been, and then we have to look at. And I'm gonna throw this out there. I don't know if I'm wrong, but that's why I'm asking for your opinion. These women are willing to share baby daddy, but they ain't willing to get together and consolidate their homes. I think that's odd.
Oh, I'm with you on that. Just that baby daddy you sharing, just stay with him. And he all y'all baby's daddy, y'all his wives, he your husband, stay together, raise them kids together, and we'll be better. We'll be better for it. I just, man, I don't like you leaving a man because he has another woman, and then you go get with another man, and then he has another woman. Like, what does that tell you? Either you have a problem picking, or you don't mind sharing.
Thank you. You can't say you don't have a problem sharing when you know he got kids with somebody else and you'll have his kid.
Right.
That doesn't make sense. If sharing was such a problem, you'd say ain't a way in hell I'm going to be baby mama number 4.
Right. Facts. That's facts.
And then
That's
willing
facts.
to fight this woman over
Fight
him.
this woman over when y'all might as well just share.
Yes,
don't let
and
it
I believe
impregnate
I'm
you.
like, look how much money we can save with
Yeah.
all y'all here.
And just be one family. We could just be one family.
What I'm sounding like now?
Oh,
You
sound
sounding
better
light
now.
skinned now. Look at you sounding light skinned. you was sounding hella dark earlier.
Oh shit!
And this ain't Russell Wilson. This is Lamar Jackson. What the hell?
Oh shit! Let me
crazy as hell.
Hey, if I could for the audience, can I just recap?
Yes, please.
Let me just recap. So I want to speak to the monogamy. When Cap was talking to the sister earlier, and what I wanted to add was that in ancient Rome, that was their law was monogamy. And then I would ask the sister, how has monogamy worked in America? With all of the divorces, all of the breakups, how has that worked? We need another solution. I mean, it has to be a different way. You know what I mean? Now, getting back to the Willie Lynch letter, what I was saying was it can't be corroborated, like what Cap was saying. I'm agreeing with that. Also, it is factual, but like you guys were saying, it had to be written later. Now, what the brother was saying, the brother was trying to, I guess he was trying to articulate that in that letter, it says that black people will be jacked up unless some phenomenon happened. Unless something happened to get them off of this access of them being destroyed. And so thinking back now, looking at it, I look at that as being the truth and the knowledge of the Bible that we are God's chosen people. That's how I look at it, like that phenomenon that would knock us up out of that ever-turning circular destruction that would keep happening to us. Now, when it comes to the title, can you worship Jesus and not worship white supremacy? Or are the two intertwined? Right. I feel as though holidays, worshiping holidays is white supremacy. Like our ancestors learned these things when they had no choice but to accept them. Now, our ancestors worked 16 hours a day, and whatever time they got off, they was going to take it. They was going to take that time off. And so over time, I feel like it just became a tradition in our families, and it just got passed down. Now we have the opportunity to actually look back and say, well, okay, this is how we started doing these things, and this is why we shouldn't do them. But if you ask me, I feel as though celebrating a holiday is celebrating white supremacy because our ancestors learned these things when they had no choice but to do them. They, you know.
Let me ask you a question. So what do you think about the brother, the last brother that said he was doing it because the organization or church that he's with, right? And he didn't think that it was white supremacy. So what would you, what would be your answer to him?
That brother, was that the pastor?
Yeah, that was the pastor, Amon Ra.
And he didn't feel like it was, he didn't feel like he was just following his organization. I would say that if you want to make a stand to go against white supremacy, then you would have to separate from that organization. You can't be a part of that organization and say and still feel like, you know, the white man is this and he's that, and you're still going along with the things that, you know, our ancestors learned when we had no choice but to follow it, you know. So I'll tell that brother, like, you got to drop that. Like you said, right. Cap, I think you said something about you're gonna have to just be alone. You're just gonna have to be that lone warrior. I'm paraphrasing, but you're gonna have to be alone and accept that and start from scratch.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You definitely got to start from scratch, because if there's always a trendsetter. Even if you think about it like that. I didn't wear a pair of Michael Jordans until I was 47.
Damn. Right.
Now, my reasoning for wearing Michael Jordans at 47 is because I saw the baby blue. I don't think I have them down here. I would bring them out. I saw the baby blue ones and they just look good. But when I was younger,
right,
the reason I wouldn't wear Jordans was because everybody wore Jordans.
Everyone.
I didn't want to be everybody. I didn't hate the Jordans. The Jordans was fly, but because everybody was wearing Jordans, I didn't want to wear Jordans.
Right.
When it came to women, I did not want a woman that everybody else wanted.
Exactly.
If Tammy, I'm just making up a name because I didn't know no Tammys in my hood. I'm just making up a name. If Tammy was the one that everybody wanted, I wanted Tasha because nobody wanted Tasha. So in my mind, Tasha had to be special because everybody wanted Tammy. That means Tammy letting something off that she wants everybody's attention.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to be the one that when everybody say, "Damn, you want Tasha, you don't want Tammy. Everybody want Tammy. Why you want?" Because now if I go get with Tasha, there's something special about her that nobody else wants, but I see what everybody else wants.
Right.
So when it comes to that particular pastor, and he ain't the only one. A lot of pastors try to make that, well, we don't teach Jesus is black and excuse me, Jesus is white in my church, but you're doing all the same tenets.
Exactly.
You can't do all the same tenets, and just because you make them black, now it's supposed to be better when you're doing all the things that the whites told you to do. It's damn near like blackface.
Right. And Cap, if I could
like that one time,
what you brought out about the shoes, Cap, that analogy you brought out, I agree with that. And let me just throw another one in. It's like everybody is wearing.
I don't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead.
Jesus is blackface. That's cold as hell. When you put him as black, you're literally playing blackface with Jesus.
Right.
That's crazy.
Because and what I mean by that, unless you separate and follow it according to the Bible, making Jesus blackface is blackface. Facts. That's bars.
Facts.
Yeah, bro.
And then when it comes to the analogy you made, like I said, like out here, when I was coming up, everybody wanted to get some Timbs, but I wanted some Wallabies. I was like, I don't want what everybody is rocking.
Okay.
I'm gonna wear something.
Okay. You want to do Wallabies? All right.
Hey, people will look at me and be like, okay, where you from? You from New York? I'm like, nah.
Look, I got mine right here.
Damn. But look,
had them on yesterday.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I got a whole little lineup right now. But this is the thing. What you were saying about that analogy is that you didn't want what everybody else wanted. Well, when it comes to this white supremacy and these holidays, they don't even question or think that everything you're doing something that everybody is doing.
Right.
You're doing something. You did Easter in your church. That's what everybody is doing.
Right.
You did Halloween in your church, Christmas in your church. Everybody is doing it. If everybody is doing it, it gotta be something wrong with it.
Gotta be.
It's safe. Think about it. And I really, like I said, I appreciate it. We're not jumping on him, Cap and I. We're not jumping on the fella.
Yeah.
But you have to understand, when he openly said to the entire audience, "Oh, well, I do it because that's what everybody's used to." That's a slippery slope. And you go down that road of, well, I'm doing it because it's popular. I'm doing it because that's what people are used to. If you are a man of God and you are a man of conviction, pretty much what you say is going to be counterculture. You're going to be telling people the way that they're doing it has been wrong. How can I prove to you that the way they're doing it is wrong if I do it just like them? That's why I don't like, and I know this may be something that bothers you or Cap, I don't know. But that's why I don't like when they take the Christian music and make it sound just like the secular music. What the fuck is that? You're doing is go ahead.
It don't mean anything to us. Like, we look at it like it's worse than rap music, the gospel music, because it's not talking about the truth. It's not speaking the truth. It's sweet home Jesus and all of that crap. So they're not even singing about the truth. It's gospel music in blackface. You know what I'm saying? We would rather listen to something that is speaking about the truth of what's inside the book than somebody just singing some serenade,
but you black it up. White people singing is boring. We black it up. So
we black it up.
That is just literally blackface.
Right.
It's what it is. Wow.
Yeah.
That's right.
Definitely. Hey, we got JD Smooth on here too. That I don't look like a sister.
JD Smooth, you on the
Oh
show?
man, shalom, shalom, King, Most High, Christ bless. Now I ain't no
Hey, what's
sister.
going on?
My hair's
my
just
bad.
my hair's longer than the average sister's.
Oh, okay, my
You feel me?
bad.
Our sister's got that Isaiah 3 problem, but I don't have that problem.
He came right in here, correct the time. Hold on, I'm not
Hold
a
up.
sister. My bad, brother. My bad.
Absolutely, absolutely. Go ahead, Kings. Just a moment, my wife come
He
home.
said he don't need no protective hairstyle. These women swab it down. They need to protect their hair from the world to see it. I told a woman, I said, hold up a minute. If I had you and a side bitch and I was always at the club with the side chick, I was always at the award show with the side chick, but I told the whole world I loved you, would you believe it? She said, no. I said, well, then why do you think I believe you love your hair when I only see that white hair you put on top of it? Y'all don't hear me.
Damn.
Y'all don't hear me.
That's a rough one there.
I should see your hair more than I see the side hair.
Facts.
God, hey, one thing I would like to say to the sister though, and to the all sisters, and even just the regular Christians, you know, according to growing up in church, it said to be a Christian is to be Christ-like, right? Now we know that the word nigger is in the Bible in Acts, and when you read that definition, it not only says black or Negro, it also says Christian, right?
What word says that?
Yeah, I'm
nigger.
Where's that?
The word nigger. You talk about Acts 13:1?
Yes, sir. Yeah, nigger.
Okay.
I gotta see it.
Just
Right. I'm looking it up.
Yeah, that's Tommy like to get the scripture. So that's Acts 13:1, and that word niger it'll tell you that it's Latin for the word black.
Ain't that the country though?
What country or landmass calls black?
No, when you
There,
say
yes,
country,
there's not Niger is a country in Africa.
Yeah, Niger.
That word is
was
before the country was.
I got it, brother. So at the time that this was written, that word Niger or that country Niger wasn't established yet. So Niger is just a Latin word that just means black.
If I could, Cap.
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
In the Greek, it will be pronounced with the hard ER.
Like nigger. Yeah. Look at Tommy like that.
You know, I'm not gonna let you say this to these people. I'm not gonna let you encourage these people. I'm not gonna let you encourage one of these white bishops to go.
Come on, God.
You're gonna see one of these white people beat up. They gonna say they heard you say it, bro. Well, guys, we've been saying it wrong the whole time. It's actually nigger.
God. So look, Tom. So I said it to say this. Most Christians, they believe to be a Christian is to be Christ-like, to be a follower of Christ. Now, with that said, we know that Christ says, I do nothing that of my own, but that in which I've seen my Father do. And the church knows that, right? Well, we know according to the scriptures, after Solomon, Israel was broken up into two kingdoms, northern kingdom, southern kingdom.
Right.
And God says in Jeremiah chapter 30, right? We're talking about the new covenant, that he's going to bring his two wives back. He said he's married to Israel, which is his two wives. Christ said the kingdom of heaven is likened unto 10 virgins. 5 was wise and ready, 5 was foolish and not ready. And when he came, he took 5.
That's right.
Yeah, he did. Well, Christ did not pick one out of the 5. He didn't pick the best one out of the 5. He took all 5. And when the other 5 came knocking, they just missed it. I teach Christ was supposed to have 10. So if Christ has the 10 and God got the 2, that's the whole 12 tribes, but you want to limit me to 1. And also when they bring out, it's only supposed to be 1 man, 1 woman. When you go to Timothy, where a bishop or a deacon must be a husband of 1 wife. And then it says, whose children follow him with all gravity, right? And then it says, why? For if you don't have your own wife, if it says, for if you know not how to rule your own house, how can you run the house of God? So if you, that's the prerequisite for a bishop or to be a pastor. So if you go to the Christian church and say, how many pastors are out here without a wife? They shouldn't be, according to scripture. You need at least to have 1, but having more than 1, they can never refute it because God says he has 2 wives. Christ was supposed to have 10, but he took 5. Let alone Isaiah 4:1 says 7 in that day.
Hell, and even if you think about what Jesus spoke
It's
about,
all good.
Jesus was against a couple of things. One, he was like, if you're really going to follow God,
Yeah.
one of the way it's very difficult for a man to have a wife and still
Right.
be or wife and family and follower of God, because a lot of that mission you're going to take on, when you Simon Peter type of God follower, you're going to have to follow it, and you can't really have that tie to the world. And sometimes that marriage is a tie to the world, which would stop you from doing that which would make you leave the world.
That's right. It's damn near like when you marry, right? A good cop has been divorced like 3 or 4 times, like a real good like cop. Why?
Yep.
Because as a cop, he's always on the job. He's married to that job.
Amen.
So as a priest, or if you serving the Most High, if that wife don't understand that, that's why that's hard. And
He can
that's why
keep you
Christ made
from
that
God.
statement. Yeah, it will
Yeah,
keep you
that
from God.
wife and that family can keep you from God.
That's right. Because if you marry the wrong woman, because it's all about what you choose to, and you know if you marrying that woman for her body, you know you done seen that woman tail and said that tail, you think you gonna correct her with the rod. That ain't gonna work all the time. And you choose
God.
that woman for that, and then you wonder why she's saying, why you ain't celebrating this? Why you ain't? And you thinking, but I told you this is what I teach, but you chose wrong. That's your fault.
Yeah.
It's hard to correct the conscious stripper.
Yeah.
Ain't that right, Umar Johnson? It's hard to correct the conscious stripper.
Watch this though. But when we're dealing with our sisters, especially the majority of our sisters are on Christianity or have been in some point in time of their life, like all our people. Everybody quotes John 3:16 for gospel of the world. I like to tell them we need to go to the original 3:16. Genesis 3:16. Like when the fall happened, if we notice when Eve ate, nothing happened. She didn't know she was naked. She still had a covering, which was Adam, because God told Adam not to eat. She told the serpent that God said we did, but we never seen the Most High say anything to Eve at all prior to that, right? So she had to learn that from her husband. But when she gave to her husband and then he ate, then the covering is gone because he was in disobedience. And that's brought back earlier when in 1 Corinthians, right? Chapter 11. But at the end of the day, I said that to say this. When it said that that the woman's desire shall be to thy husband and he shall rule over thee, that's something that our forefathers and foremothers weren't able to implement throughout slavery. Let alone now we used to die if we learned to read, let alone read the Bible from slavery, right? But now we have it willingly and at our access at all times. And if we read it just for our historical purposes, or even if you was a Christian, you can't go against the Bible, especially the women. You might want to be mad, but God's the same yesterday, today, and forever. He changed not. He said he exalts his word above his name. So therefore, heaven and earth shall pass away, and his words remain the same. I say that to say this. God said Genesis 3:16 that a woman's desire is going to be to her husband, and that man is going to rule over you. That's in all things. That's backed up in the New Testament when it says, wives, submit yourselves unto your husbands as unto the Lord, as if Christ told you to do it. That's in all things. All things. So Exodus 21:7, when it says, verse 10, it says, if a man take him another wife, food, raiment, and do the marriage shall not diminish. That's his choice. It didn't say she had input. But most of our men aren't doing like the Bible says, girding up their loins like a man and show thyself a man. With that, I yield.
Thank you, brother. We appreciate it. Definitely appreciate
Okay.
it. The Water, did you have something else you wanted to add or say?
Nah, Cap. I pretty much said everything I wanted to say.
I like that. We got anybody else, Tommy, in there?
No, there's Jabrill, but Jabrill says their device is not connected. I know a couple of people were trying to come up, but then they got dropped down. I forgot the brother that was up here earlier. He
Can you
coming
put
up.
the, oh, never mind. I see it. Because I needed to pin the link back up.
Yeah, I put it in there because I see they
I
had
saw
changed
it,
the link to.
Yeah.
So we got.
Sorry, shameless plug. Everybody, please go support my brother Captain Tazaryach's Body Butters and his fragrances. Please support my brother right now on Etsy and Amazon.
Appreciate that, JD.
Y'all see how brothers do?
That.
Y'all see what brothers do? Seriously, you got a brother that's telling, hey, support that brother. We ain't got nobody here talking about some no D riding and no stupid stuff like that. Right. Brothers supporting brothers, and that's how it's supposed to be.
That's
Hell,
how
I
it's
take
always
joy
supposed to
in
be.
making sure that my brother does well. I don't know about anybody else, but I take joy in that. I want my brother to be like, I used to play basketball with Allen Iverson, I'm the one that taught him that crossover. You know what I'm saying? That's
Right.
I told Michael Vick, stop throwing it with your right hand, nigga. Throw it with your left, and then next thing you know, he was Mike Vick.
There you go. Right. Right. Nah, you right about that, man.
Yakub says one wife. Yakub is out there. Hey, they're really upset with y'all. Yakub
about the
said
whole one wife.
Nonsense.
Listen, man, if you want one wife, man, get you one wife. Listen, and that's the thing. We don't force brothers to get more. If you want one wife, go get one wife. You just have to show in God's law that having more than one wife is against God's law. That's all you would have to show. DK, what's up, brother? We got, or was Esteban first? Was Esteban first, Tommy?
I think he was, and then DK.
Okay, all right, go ahead, Esteban. What's up, brother?
Oh man, what's going on, brother Tommy?
Hey, how's it going, brother?
Long time no speak.
All right, talk to the people on the panel. It ain't more than just me up here.
Listen, you get all the love. Listen, I like when I see my brother Tommy get that love, man, because he be getting so much hate. I like when he get that love, man. That's what I like.
That's what. See, listen to that. When a brother can say, "I enjoy seeing you win," because nigga, you lose a lot. It's like when the retarded kids score a touchdown. Tazaryach be like, "Yes, yes." Woo! Y'all stand back. Let him
crazy as hell, man. This boy crazy as hell.
That is funny. That is funny.
Go ahead, Esteban.
Okay. Brother Tommy, you and I have had our differences on one thing over the years. You know, I've
bitch ass out before. Go ahead.
tread lightly.
Only when it comes to one subject.
Double time. It might happen.
Hold on, please.
Slow down. We hold it on.
I remember cussing your bitch ass out. Go ahead, whole ass.
Yeah. And what was that over? It was over two reasons. Number one, faith and religion.
This sounds like an old groupie, Tommy. This sounds like an old groupie.
I am. I can admit it because I like what the dude is saying.
Hold on. Before, brother, you're gonna get all the time in the world to talk, right? But a nigga just admitted, look at Tommy.
Okay.
Tommy, a nigga just admitted he was a groupie of another man. Paul. Hey, Tommy. And it happened on Transgender Day.
I have nothing to do with this segment of Trans Sunday. This is not of my doing. Hell no. Go ahead.
A man just admitted he was a groupie. Go ahead, groupie. I mean, Esteban. Go ahead, Esteban. Go ahead, brother. Talk, nigga.
Now you done made him leave.
No, I'm here.
Listen, Tommy.
What you do?
Groupies don't go nowhere. Groupies don't go nowhere, Tommy. They stay right there. Go ahead, Tommy.
We can't because we love you, and this is Transgender Day. So go ahead, bro.
I fucks with Tommy hard, yo. Pause. I fucks with Tommy. That's my boy.
No
Tommy
Diddy.
is officially my motherfucking boy. I just want y'all to know that. Go ahead, Esteban. Go ahead.
Gamer said no Diddy. Go ahead. He unmuted himself to say no Diddy, and then muted himself back. He did it real light skin. You didn't even know it happened.
No. That ain't light skin. That's pale. That's pale right there. That's pale. That's pale.
Go ahead, Esteban. We apologize.
Yeah, we're gonna be quiet.
We ain't got good sense, and it is Transgender Day, so we don't really know what to do on this day. So go ahead, bro.
I've been hearing a lot of different views when it comes to your guys' perspective on the Bible and Christianity and all of that. And I want to respectfully disagree with some of the things that I've heard first, but let me go back. Because somebody brought up the Willie Lynch letters. Those have been proven to be false and debunked because the lexicon that was used in those letters was just not around at the time that it was supposedly or allegedly written.
Yeah, Cap and I made sure we pointed that part out. That it may have just because something can fit doesn't mean
listening is an art, Tommy. Listening isn't all. He
Well,
thought he
I
dropped the
wasn't on the
bombshell.
stream. I wasn't on the stream at the time. If you guys did point that out, I wasn't. But that's good that you did that.
Wait, hold on. How you wasn't on the stream to point that out, but you know we brought up the Willie Lynch letter?
Because I heard it, and when I was trying to get in, I got disconnected. So,
because we shot it
when
down,
I came back,
I can tell you that was almost like a tag team moment for us.
well, like I said, I didn't hear that part. I didn't hear that part. But I also want to, and again, because I was kicked out for a while, and I don't know if you guys here said it, but I've heard a few times by people that, you know, Christianity is the white man's religion and so on and so forth. And I get why a lot of black people think that. But if you guys, and somebody brought up the book of Acts, and if you recall, I want to say it's Acts chapter 8, where the apostle Philip I forget where he's going, but he meets an Ethiopian eunuch. And the Ethiopian eunuch was reading the Old Testament. And Philip, you know, kind of explained everything to him, who it was about, you know, all the prophecies about Christ and so on and so forth. And as you know, Philip baptized him. And then the Holy Spirit carried him away. Historians have said that even though we don't know who that Ethiopian was, he's more than likely largely responsible for having Christianity on the African continent. Keep in mind,
what historical record do you have to say what you're saying?
Well, like I said, I just
put it in the chat. Can you put it in the chat so we can look that up?
I can try to, but like I said, I just referenced Acts 8. Also, as you know, Moses's wife was a Midianite, I believe. Yes, which was called Midian, I believe, back then.
Right.
You saying the whole of Acts 8? Acts 8?
I believe it's Acts 8. I could be wrong. Hold on, let me.
No, he's right when it says Acts 8, but it says a man of Ethiopia. It's like saying a man of America or a man of New York.
Well, I think that's what they used.
In your defense, you're not saying what race he is. I don't think that's the point. What it sounds like you are saying is that he went and taught all of Africa. Is that what you're saying?
Maybe not all of Africa, but what I'm trying to say is that this notion that white people brought Christianity to Africa, I just don't think is true.
Okay, is that it? Do I have the right thing on the screen?
Yeah, that 8. No, you need Acts 8, and this one starts at 8, and I think
hold on, let me
This is 8. This is Acts 8 and 27. That's what you want, Tommy.
Okay.
And it says, and he rose and went, and behold, a man of Ethiopia, a eunuch of great authority under Candace, queen of the Ethiopians, who had charge of all her treasure. But that's not how Christianity.
A dickless man is basically what you're talking about. A dickless guy.
Yeah.
He didn't have no dick. We just gonna call it what it is.
No Diddy.
No,
no doubt. So he was not a diddler. Okay, go ahead, brother. You got the floor. You got
the floor, brother. Keep going.
No, I was just saying, I just never bought into the notion that, you know, because again, and I'm sure you guys have heard it, that you know, Christianity is a white man religion forced on Africa, blah, blah, blah. When I think this is clearly, and again, even some historical non-religious historians have said that he is most likely responsible.
Are you familiar with the Axum Empire?
I am not.
Okay, no problem. That's why I asked you what was the source of your information that the person in Acts the 8th chapter is responsible. because when you actually go historically, and anybody can look this up, the Axum Empire in 4th century AD, and I only know this because I had to do a debate on this subject. King Azana is how Christianity came into like Ethiopia and then spread throughout. Before then, they were following something else. They was not following Christianity. So what you're
Well,
saying,
that
let me
go
finish.
ahead. Go
So
ahead.
what you're saying is just not true, because this Ethiopian or man of Ethiopia was just an Israelite that lived in Ethiopia, just like Paul was an Israelite that lived in Rome. It wasn't uncommon. Like, for example, when you go to Acts the 2nd chapter and you read verse 5, it says, "And there were dwelling in Jerusalem Jews, devout men out of every nation of under heaven." And so when you read down to verse 9, it just say the Parthians, the Medes, the Elamites, and it starts naming all of these countries where Israelites was living, and they would travel back and forth to Israel, which was
Right.
not
They
an
did that for the Passover and the feast.
right,
Yes.
exactly. So the man of Ethiopia was just the Israelite that lived in Ethiopia, but he was just traveling. But historically, Ethiopians and Christianity going into Africa, you could trace it back to 4th century AD, which would be the 300s. For anybody that want a specific timeline for Ethiopia, you can look up King Azana and how the Greek Empire sent missionaries into Ethiopia to convert them to Christianity. So what you're saying just doesn't match up. I don't know where you're going with your questioning, but
Well,
it just
well,
doesn't match up historically.
well. If you recall, like I said, the eunuch, the man of Ethiopia, was already reading. I believe he was reading Isaiah.
That's how
He
you
was
know he was an
already
Israelite. That's my
right, right,
like right.
right. But again, but that's Judaism. I'm talking
Oh,
Christianity.
wait,
So
but
you are
Judaism,
correct.
but Judaism, remember, Judaism is not a term until you get to 700, 600, and 700 years later.
Yep.
The Bible
Well,
doesn't
okay,
use
the
it.
Old
Wait, slow,
Testament.
wait. I want you to even the term Old Testament is not until you get to hundreds of years later. I just want you to listen. Remember, we can't use the common terms for back then. Back then, there
Yeah, you
was no
even the
Judaism.
idea of listening to it, the word Old Testament.
Right.
It's just like New York. You
No,
had to have
I
the
know they
word
didn't call it. I know they didn't call it that.
But
I'm
brother,
aware. Yeah.
brother,
until somebody introduced this whole thing of the New Testament, then the old wasn't considered the old. It was just considered law.
I agree. That's true. I'm
right,
not
because
saying
the
they
only
called it the Old
but
Testament.
what I want you to do, Esteban, for a second is just listen. Just take some time to listen. Because during the time of the New Testament, the only records they would have would be what we today call the Old Testament.
Yes.
They wouldn't have Matthew, Mark, Luke,
Right.
John. They would have
Right.
Genesis, Exodus, Isaiah, Ezekiel, etc. So the eunuch reading Isaiah would go right in line with Paul reading Isaiah, because that's all the records that they would have. It wouldn't have been
Right.
called
I'm
the
not
Old.
saying they called it the Old Testament. I'm not saying
Got you.
they called it
Okay, no
that.
problem. Okay, I
Yeah, I'm
got you.
not saying that's what they called it. I'm just, the most common term was the law, if you will.
It was just
You,
law.
you know
But
what I
go
mean? So I'm not saying they call. I'm just calling it that. But
I
you're right. They
understand.
would have not known it to be the Old Testament. But what I was trying to say is that, and keep in mind, if I'm not mistaken, I believe one of the apostles was because, and I'm excluding Judas. I believe one of the apostles was actually killed in Africa for spreading the gospel. I can't remember which one. I know
You're
one was
correct.
killed.
You're
I
correct.
know one was killed in India, and I want to
You're
say that
correct.
was maybe Nathaniel. Again, don't
You're
quote me on
correct.
that.
You're
a
Okay.
correct. But
lot of
when we
people don't
talk,
even know that that's why the New Testament was written in Greek, because
right.
they had to be able, they had to be able to basically write this stuff down and sneak
Mm-hmm.
it through, because it was against it. Literally, that was, you could be murdered for spreading that word.
That's correct.
Well,
That's facts. But wait,
keep in mind, they were also good.
before you say that though, when we talk about Christianity today, we're not talking about what that eunuch was reading. We're not talking about what the disciples were. This is also important.
Okay.
You can mark Christianity with 4th century, with 300 AD, when they started changing Sabbath to Sunday, Easter, Christmas, all of these things that you know of today. That's the Christianity we're talking about, and that's not what they was talking about in the Bible during the time of the New Testament. So when we are speaking against Christianity, we're not speaking against nothing in the Bible. We're only speaking about what they're talking about today is Christianity.
Right. And I agree with, like I said, I'm just using, like you said, I'm just using the term that as we call it. Again, I'm not saying that they called it that back then, because I'm sure you're familiar. And if I understand you correctly, I think you're talking about, I want to say, the Council of Nicaea around 400
That's
AD.
correct.
Is that right?
That's correct.
Is that
And
I
who
don't know
put
if
that
that's
group, wait a minute, and who put that group together? The same kind of people we were talking about earlier, just like
That's
King
right.
James. All of them were what kind of people? Gay.
Wait. But
Maybe
King
they
James
weren't.
wasn't gay though, Tommy. I got it. But for a
He
point of
wasn't.
his,
I thought King James kept a little couple pages around, a couple little boys around him. That's why a
no,
lot of
but I'm
these gay
glad.
men
So
call
I'm glad you
themselves
said
King
that.
something. King
So
James, King
right.
Combs, King Flex. I'm just saying.
All right. So just a point of historical correction. There's no contemporaries during the time of King James' life that called him gay or homosexual.
That's right.
It was only after he died that they started pushing that propaganda. King James wrote specific letters to his sons to not be gay, don't prune your hair, don't paint your nails, don't look effeminate. There were specific instructions that he would write. So his
That's right.
enemies, so when it's like if I die, my enemies come and they start spreading lies. Like right now, they running with this rumor that my mother is white. My mother is not white. So now if I'm gone and I'm not here to defend myself, people believe that my mother is white because my enemies would say that. So that's what it was with King James. King James, just think about it. The gay agenda that we remember today, they got the transgender. They got rid of Jesus so that they can have their transgender day. So if King James was a
That's
gay
a good point.
man,
That's a good
if
point.
King James was a gay man, in the translation of his Bible, it wouldn't be no mankind shall not lie with mankind. That's an
That's a heavy
abomination.
point.
It
Can
wouldn't
I
be
make a
no brother. You
can I,
gotta be quiet for a second.
okay.
You gotta be quiet.
Shut the fuck up.
Like you see him, Tommy, every time we talk. Yeah.
What boy said today on if y'all haven't seen that 3-body solution, he said, "Shut the fuck up, troll."
And brother, I know you anxious to talk, so you're not really being rude. But when Tommy and I talk, you got to yield because we're the hosts. All right, just yield for it because we're gonna give you the floor back. I appreciate it. So,
I was agreeing with you.
I appreciate it. Just agree with me on mute, like mute your mic and agree with me to where nobody got to hear it. Just do it that way. So, man, you a groupie, so I know you know how to listen. Groupies know how to listen.
Agree with me in sign language. Damn.
So, like, even in like Corinthians, in the book of Corinthians, it says, "No effeminate shall inherit the kingdom of God." So, if King James is getting the Bible translated, he would remove all the gay stuff because that would be offensive to him. Because that's what gays do today. They remove all the gay stuff that's offensive to them. So, just a point of historical reference. That's all.
Plus, he was a black man married to a black queen, and they had 9 children.
I'm gonna give me some shirts typed up. Agree with me on mute. Agree with me in prayer, nigga. Agree with me in silence. Move your head up and down, nigga. Move. Give me the thumbs
like
up.
this. Do like this. Yeah. Let's do that shit. Let's do that shit right there. That's all.
Damn. I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh at you, brother, but you are taking this very well, so therefore I'm enjoying myself.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead. What it was you would like to finish?
It's almost what is it? Sadomasochistic?
Sadomasochist.
Yeah, sadomasochist.
You are in my territory now as a psychologist. Yes, he's a he's enjoying the beat down.
No, that's all good.
He's flogging himself as we flog him. He's just
if I could add something to the historic part to it. What Tommy was bringing out about the Greeks and the language and everything, what you got to understand also is that during the time of Alexander the Greek, after he conquered the whole world, he invited Israelites or Jews to move into Greek lands. So this is 300 years before the rise of Christ. So you had Israelites living in all these different lands like Antioch, Ephesus, Corinth, and had been following these gods, living the lifestyle of a Greek, speaking great Greek language. So when you talk about the so-called New Testament, that's when the apostles are going to these brothers and sisters that through blood they are Israelites, but through practices they are Greeks. They were called Hellenes.
Yes.
And so I just wanted to throw that in there.
And then Esteban, you ain't got to get off the stage, but I do want to pause you because we got DK and Jabrill on here, so we do want to give way to other voices. We want to make sure everybody can get in, so you ain't got to leave because you see Thawaz still on here, JD Smooth is still on here, but we got other people that want to talk. So if you can just mute real fast, we're gonna go ahead over to DK. DK, you next. What's going on, brother? Or sister? I don't know. I'm not calling you.
What's up, brother? Y'all got me dying over here, man. y'all niggas.
It's them light-skinned niggas. I'm just riding the wave.
Yo,
not cause this shit. It's them light-skinned niggas.
Listen,
Everybody
Tommy knew what to say. No, hell no, because Tommy knew what to say when I said, "Hey, brother, just be quiet for a second so I can finish." Tommy said, "Yeah, that means shut the fuck up." That's what that means.
Yo,
put it in dark
Hey, Cap, Tommy, Cap. Hey, Tommy,
to
Cap. I don't want to interrupt, but I'm about to drop. I just want to say I appreciate y'all.
Oh, no sweat, brother.
And if y'all be here again, y'all be here next Sunday.
Yeah, listen, next Sunday, next Wednesday. Yeah, we might. Ain't no telling. Like we just hit each other up. Like let's get it popping.
Yeah,
and
if
we get it
something
popping.
come across his mind or come across mine, what we thinking, y'all
That's
might.
how we do it.
Like this could be for the edification of the people. To be perfectly honest, that's what we think of when we think of the shows. We're like, what would be something that the people would edify the people?
That's right.
Okay. All right. So anytime I can, I'm gonna hop in, especially on days like this. So shout out to both of y'all. I appreciate y'all for letting me come on. All right.
Hey, no sweat out. Shalom. I'll give some shabbat.
Shalom, Lord Christ, sir.
All right.
DK.
Yo, Cap.
Go ahead, DK.
Yo, Cap. I believe Tommy is an undercover Hebrew Israelite anyway. He's been that for years.
I'm trying to get him to North Carolina so he can come and check out my Passover with me, man.
Nigga, I'm just glad you finished the sentence with Hebrew Israelite. I didn't know where you was going. You told me to undercover. Oh, shit.
Right, because he said undercover.
Undercover.
What?
Yeah.
You never know where you're going with that undercover part, right?
Not on Trans Sunday. No.
Yo, I address him as Weave Slayer. He's the Weave Slayer.
Yes.
Yes.
That is the hill I'm gonna die on. That damn weave is a problem to me. I'm gonna die on that hill. I'm gonna be 86 years old talking about weave. I promise you I will.
I dub you Weave Slayer then. There you go. Yo, but tell you the truth, I've been in the knowledge for probably at least 5 years coming into the truth.
Okay.
And to tell you the truth, Tommy was one that helped me connect the dots.
That's what's up. I like hearing that. If I could sidebar, I like hearing that because if y'all think about it, so since me and Tommy, this is what our third show, Tommy?
Yeah.
And our third show, we got callers coming in saying that either they connected to me through Tommy or they connected to Tommy through me. And nobody would think that we would get together and get along. And so I think that's beautiful because I was telling a brother of mine today, me and Tommy damn near say the same things. My belief in the Bible is what my final stamp of approval is, and then Tommy has his position, but Tommy believes in the Bible. I said, man, if I pull out a scripture, Tommy gonna put the shit on the screen. So we damn near agree way more than we disagree. And I think it
remember when I sent you one message and I said, hey man, we should talk about this. He said, nigga, I'll agree with you on that shit.
That's what I said. I'm like, nigga, we gonna agree on this shit. Like, you gonna pick a subject we not gonna fight on.
I was like, really?
Yeah. And what's good is that Tommy certifies me to his audience, and I certify him to my audience, and it allows people to see, man, Tazaryach ain't that bad. I thought this nigga was crazy. A lot of people to see Tommy ain't that bad. I thought that nigga was crazy. Why? Because we certifying each other. And that's what brothers supposed to do. Brothers ain't got to come into a room and bash each other or nothing. Like our success, because me and Tommy gonna have great success together. Our success is not gonna be predicated. Oh, yeah, I needed. Yeah, listen, hey Tommy, my spirit didn't want to say suck. Hey, my spirit didn't want to say suck. It just...
He knew what he. I disapprove of you, DK. You ain't shit for that, DK. You knew what he meant. You knew it.
But our success is not going to be predicated on bashing each other. It's going to be predicated on us pulling together hot topics, bringing in the audience, getting feedback from each other, and having a hell of a show, man.
Right. Sometimes God use a heathen, to bring the word forth.
I'm the heathen.
I mean,
who the heathen? Who the heathen though? Who the heathen?
I didn't say heathen, did I?
Yeah, you a heathen?
What the hell you just said?
I just want to know who the heathen is. Who the heathen?
No, I tell you what Tommy said that actually connected the dots for me. It was one time he was talking about.
Wait. Before you do that, who's the heathen? I need to know who's the heathen.
I know who it is.
Neither one of you brothers.
Oh, okay. But you ain't a heathen, is you? Is you a heathen?
No, not at all.
Because I'm gonna tell you one thing I don't play. I'm gonna tell you I don't know if people call it an Achilles or not. But if I look at anybody as a brother, you can't say shit about them around me. Ever.
There you go.
And Tommy is a brother. And
there
so when somebody say like a heathen, my instinct is like, what the fuck? Who the fuck you talking about? I just got to check the temperature. So long as you ain't talking about Tommy, we good. And long as you ain't a heathen, we good. So you got to go ahead and continue.
There you go.
I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that.
Hey,
there you go. No, I was going to tell you.
I don't play that shit, Tommy. Wait, I'm going to tell y'all a story one time, right? So there's my brother, Sinetta, right? We was in Harlem one day. We on the street. And it was me, Sinetta, my brother's a car, Red Pill, and Sankofa. We out there talking. And some cat, I don't know where he came from. He just walking. It looked like he walking towards Sinetta. My instinct just gets up and gets in his path towards getting to Sinetta because brotherhood is such a weapon to me. I can't let nobody violate that. So, but you can continue. I just wanted to say that. So Tommy is a brother to me, so I ain't gonna let nobody violate. But you're not doing that.
No, I fully respect. It was all jokes, man. Sorry
okay, no sweat. I just had to check the temperature. We gangsta over here. We gangsta over here.
But no, I was gonna say what he said to actually connect the dots for me was he was talking one day about how destroyed the Black community was, and he was talking about it's like we got all types of degradation in our music, and it's like everything is about fucking each other's girlfriend, taking each other's wife, and all this terrible stuff. Then you look at our movies, and how our movies were just showing the bad parts of our not even our culture, but what they were trying to make our culture. He was like, but yet still, it seems like we're getting pressure from everywhere to change who we are as a Black people. But he says, on top of all of that, but for some reason, we will the most soft power around the world. He said, make sense of that. It's like, how can we carry so much soft power in other people's eyes around the world to where we're looked up to, around the countries, but we're destroyed as a people. And then when I found the Hebrew Israelites, I connected that to when the Bible talks about how we would be destroyed as a people, and it'll be there for a sign and a wonder, until he comes back.
I never spoke. That's the one group I never spoke bad about. And ironically, I would always speak very well about. I always got along with them. I remember, like I said, I remember the first time when I went up to Brooklyn, them brothers took me in like I was just, they took me in like I was just their dude.
Right.
And when I saw that straight up love, because I was like, well, these brothers supposed to hate me, I thought.
Right.
But I think the one brother, he told me, and I can't remember his name, he said, you have no idea how much what you're saying that's biblical.
And that's what
and so
people
they
don't
couldn't
get.
hate me. Yeah, because they could. And the same thing has happened when I talked to Tazaryach. He's like, man, I can't be mad at you for saying that because I feel the same way. And I'm sitting up there thinking, why? And I tell you, he root everything he says. And anybody that's watched him, y'all can tell me if I'm lying. Everything he says, he roots it in the Bible.
Right.
He says, well, it's here.
Mhm.
And as a man of faith and a man of that mission, when you say, if the word says it, I'm not going to deny it, because that's one of the hardest things in the world to do, Tazaryach, is it not to be able to say, can I follow this thing because the word tells you? Is it not
Right.
what Abraham had to do with his son? Can I
Right.
follow this?
Can I follow this? That's important, because that's like the Lord. First, the Lord is not a bitch, meaning like the Lord is not a sucker. He's not a sissy. The Lord is a gangster. When you read Exodus 15:3, it says the Lord is a man of war. That's what it says. That's who, the Christian church, you think of this soft and sissy nigga, like turn the other cheek, like you supposed to be some sissy and punk and stuff like that. When that's not, even when Christ said, turn the other cheek, he's saying, give your brother another chance. So imagine if Bloods and Crips or gangs gave each other a chance and stopped killing each other and do something else. That's what Christ is talking about. He's not talking about being no sucker. So now when you think about that, if Tommy is saying something that's legit, am I going to be against him because this is Tommy Sotomayor, or am I going to just say, yo, Tommy, what you're saying is true. Let's just look at the biblical solution to it. And that's pretty much all. That's what we are. Tommy going to get on here. He going to say all the wild shit, and I'm going to put the biblical solution to the shit he's saying.
Right.
He does.
That's it.
He does.
That's
He's
it.
like, this nigga's stupid, but Acts 27 says, stupid nigga not wrong in this thing.
Right. That's
Yeah,
facts.
that's Malachi chapter 2, verse 7.
Right.
The priest's lips should keep knowledge, and they should seek the law at his mouth.
That's right.
Yeah. So when he said that, it made me realize, all right, you know what? That's why they infiltrate our music and all our images to keep us into this degraded, just
indoctrination. Indoctrination is what destroys us. Our indoctrination. I told my mother, I said, when I first was coming into this knowledge, and I said I didn't want to celebrate Thanksgiving because it's about the slaughter of Native Indians. My mother didn't disacknowledge that it wasn't. But what my mother said was, but it's tradition.
It's what the pastor said earlier, is it not?
Yeah, what the pastor said. The pastor said it's tradition to do this. Tradition is indoctrination if it's against God. Like you gotta, the scales and balances gotta balance out. And you either gonna worship the creator or you're gonna worship the creature.
Right.
And the problem with black people,
you're gonna lose friends.
Yeah.
You're gonna lose a lot of people following him. You're not gonna become you're not gonna become the belle of the ball.
That's right.
You're gonna be the pariah. You're gonna have, many of y'all have realized when you come into the truth, you're persona non grata at the table on Thanksgiving. And that is so funny you said this, Tazaryach. I did not know you said that. I said the same thing, and it pissed off a lot of the white people who follow me. I said, happy Thanksgiving. And then I went into, this is what you're celebrating. The slaughter of a group of people. You can be happy with it, but I'm not going to lie to people and say that it's a celebration of something else. You know how they have in the pictures, the Indians and the Pilgrims getting a fucking along? That is not what it was.
That is not what it was. There was no getting along. That's after they slaughtered all the Indians, and then, hey, come on, y'all, let's eat. We done killed our enemies.
And think about it. The Indians saved their life, and what did they get in response? The
Indians were so kind to them.
Destroyed.
Yeah. Taught them how to hunt, taught them how to till the ground, taught them everything, and they rewarded them with murder. And we celebrate it every year. Imagine them celebrating the transatlantic slave trade. Imagine that.
Imagine we celebrating Hitler putting the Jew.
Right.
And we have a great meal on Happy Holocaust Day. Like, imagine. Nigga eat well.
Hey, Cap, but I want to land my plane.
Hey, brother, land your plane.
I want to land my plane. But what did it say in the Bible? For Christ to come back, what we have to do first, before he come back and redeem us, we have to first start following the laws and the commandments.
Right.
And come back and come back. So as long as they keep us in sin and in this, evil spirit and dancing and twerking and all the other stuff and, selling drugs, they have nothing to worry about. So I think that's why those images are pushed, and that's what made it connect to me through Tommy's, speech that day. But bless you, brothers, man. Thank you.
Hey, bless you too.
Yeah, I think I will look at myself as like Simon Peter when God had to tell him, "Hey, put your sword back in, sheathe your sword."
Right.
I think I'm that, and I heard my mom describe me as that once, and that's the first time I'd ever heard that. She was like, "You're kind of that wild card that's still right, but it takes somebody to rein you in."
Right.
And I think that's
why
what
you
happened.
say, man, we the yin and the yang. I'm the dark skin, you the light skin.
Mm-hmm. I think we literally are, because I see what you're saying, where I've watched the people in your comment section, and you said it would happen, and it did. They've started to welcome me in.
Yep. Remember the first day? Tommy was
I
like,
didn't
send me the
believe it.
comment. Yeah, boy. But the first live, oh, they was killing you in the comments, Tommy.
Yeah, you found the one comment that was this nigga will read through 38 comments to find the one where the person was saying he all right, he ain't that bad.
Right. Listen, I'm scrolling. Okay, I'm gonna screenshot this one. Listen, I had to crop the shit too, so I make sure it don't show none of the other comment. Right. So none of the other comment.
Simply said we had to vet you first.
Yeah, God, right. We had to vet you. And you vetted out, came out on top.
I was feeling bad. I really was. I was hurt. I was like, Cap, they don't like me, bro.
Right. I like, nah, come on back. Come on back. Come on.
He's
back.
like, wear a lighter shirt, nigga. Wear a lighter shirt.
Hey, you know what I was looking at? Like, we got the same color shirt. This was not planned. I just threw this shirt on. I ain't even ironing this shirt. I just threw the shirt on.
You said it earlier when you said Christ's eyes was red. What's that red for?
Yeah, fury. Yeah, that's for fierce countenance. Yeah, that's it. All right, so now we got Jabrill on here. What's up, Jabrill? What you got?
Yeah, hello, how y'all doing? I'd like you to take this first.
You gotta simply fix your mic, brother.
Yeah,
every nigga that be outside, Tommy. Hey, Tommy, every nigga that be outside. Go ahead,
yeah, while we were viewing your neck, I am really, but I'm glad that I didn't know where this was going when we saw. Yes, cut that off. This not that kind of show. I didn't know where this was going. I thought, no.
Word is born. Like, what is he talking about, man? Come on. And you might be a good dude, Jabrill. This no disrespect, but you came on here. You was outside like homeboy. Who the other cat was kicked outside? The apostle, the Amon Ra cat. He was kicked outside. So we don't know if you kicked outside. You everything all right?
We don't know what y'all doing. We always on guard.
That's right. You need some counsel to get back in the house, brother. We can help you.
No, I decided to go back to my house real quick. Is that better?
Okay, all right. He in the house. He got some strength.
Yeah,
all right, we can hear you a little bit. We can hear
I just wanted to go with.
You can't be no.
I just want to go to.
You got to be a house nigga every now and again. Go ahead.
But going into what the last guy just said about the basically, I was looking into the story about the wilderness and how Israel was doing so good until they had to send, I guess, curses against them. With Belial, was it? But not Belial, the guy that talked to the donkey. But he basically had to prophesy and he had to get them hooking up with women and liquor. So that goes to show, like,
you mean the ogre?
Nah. When he talked to the when he saw the angel on the road and the donkey went the other way.
He's speaking of Balaam.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. What about it?
Oh, I thought you were talking about Shrek. That's the only person I know talk to donkey. But go ahead.
Nah. How the Israelites was doing well, and so they had to curse them with women and Moabitish women and get them alcohol and liquor. I mean, not liquor, but they basically just had to bewitch them because they couldn't defeat them. So they can activate the curses. Basically, the only downfall of the Israelites is the Israelites.
I'll give you
they do everything they're supposed to.
I'll give you a better verse in the book of Judith, right? In the Apocrypha, when the other nations, when they was trying to destroy us, they said that if they can keep us from serving our God, they would defeat us. But if we served our God, they would not be able to defeat us. That's why they remix our identity, they remix our faith, they give us these different things to all keep us from serving the Most High. But if we was to ever say, because liquor don't make you sin. Well, let me rephrase. too much liquor don't make too much liquor will make you sin. But
that's
liquor
gluttony.
is right. It's right, exactly. Because liquor itself is not sin. But now the scriptures say you can be drunk, but not with wine. But you can be. Everybody was drunk with Easter today.
Ooh.
Everybody was
That's
drunk with
right.
that goddamn Easter bunny dying. Hey, Jabrill, did you dye any Easter eggs? I'm just curious.
Absolutely not. Hey, yo, and I had to explain to a lot of people today, right? What does a white rabbit and eggs got to do with Christ rising again?
But now that's the drunkenness, though, because the
Yeah, exactly.
drunkenness is although you know that there is nothing about the Easter bunny that has to do with Jesus or his death, they still drunk the drink of boiling eggs, dyeing
hmm
them, going on a hunt. They still did it.
Well, see, and again, so I'm doing a project right now about basically cultural amalgamation, how America didn't really have any. So a lot of the people, they just combined cultures and created their own. That's why you got like conflated terms like Negro. A lot of people really don't care generations later why they start worshiping something. Like like when you guys went on a date with the pastor about changing the Sabbath, that change happened in 321. Before that, the Sabbath was Saturday for it. Oh, like because the Hebrew book itself goes by a moon calendar. It doesn't go by the sun. It's just a lot of common things that people don't look into.
That's correct.
I think the reason that people don't look into these things though is because they don't want their faith, i.e., shaken. It's like you can be with your wife, and why would you look through her phone when it might be something there? And I remember my
Word is
grandmother
bond.
saying, yeah, she said, if you look, you will find. A lot of people don't want their faith shaken. So when you do, they hate you more than they hate what you said because
Yep.
you open up their eyes. You're the one who told them, I saw your wife at the club last night on a nigga's lap. I hate you more than I hate my wife who was on a nigga's lap and the nigga whose lap she was on. I hate you for exposing it. Think about that.
Absolutely. See, because a lot of my family is Muslim, so I was, and it's Ramadan right now, so I'm like, I got to go into it a lot with them, but I
You
explain to them,
hard.
but it's like, yeah, like yo, number one, it's a pedophile who's a
They over there
warmonger.
they over there intermittent fasting. They over there intermittent fasting.
That's what I had to explain to my mom. I said it's not a full fast. She was like, "What you be?" I said, "You just not eating for the sundown." She was like, "Yeah." But I said, "If you was man enough, you would do it for a whole 2 days."
Right.
They fasted for 12 hours, thinking it's impressive.
It's 12 hours. Right.
You didn't eat from dinner to breakfast, nigga. That's
Right.
all
That's
you
it.
did.
That's all. That's all. And
Well, even
listen,
in a
and
lot of
listen, they had a Thanksgiving meal when that sun went down and they could eat. So they could
Yes.
Yep.
survive for them 12 hours.
Again, that goes into a lot of people don't look into their religion or anything. Like even with Islam itself, because I'm doing. That's another presentation I'm doing. Is that basically Catholicism is sun worship, and
Uh-oh, did we lose him?
Yeah, he went out. That's that Boost Mobile connection.
Yeah, Jabrill. I think his wife probably told me, hey, nigga, I hear you out here. She probably fucked around
Yeah,
and tuned into your show.
say cut that shit off, son.
sorry, no, sorry, all right. Now I was saying for my project, what I'm doing is I'm basically saying that Catholicism is all the pagan sun worshiping religions that were combined, and Islam itself is all the moon pagan religions combined itself. Because if you look at it, that's basically what happened. So modern people today don't understand. Ye not know what you worship, and that's very true. And it's sad.
Listen,
Look,
one of the hard parts about coming into the truth is telling the truth. Because when you hear it, if you are appreciative of it, and I want y'all to understand, they talk about in the Bible, throughout the Bible, how the people reject the truth vehemently. Like when they hear the truth, they don't just reject it and say, oh, no, you're okay. They kill you. You die for delivering the people the truth. Tell them, Tazaryach, like there's scripture after scripture of people dying for just delivering the truth. Is that not how John met his end?
He met his end because he told the truth about that adultery. No, that's right. He told that truth about adultery. They beheaded him for that. They beheaded him for that. That's real talk.
But see, like the Amon Ra guy said, how you gonna conform? And if the Bible, if they was conforming, they wouldn't be getting trying to slaughter. They wouldn't be getting chased out everywhere. They wouldn't be accosted.
And a lot of them feel like that's the only way that they can survive. Listen, even Jesus understood that Simon was going to conform when he told him, "You're going to deny me 3 times."
3 times.
He understood, and there was grace in that, but he also wanted him to know the road I walk down, the one you claim you will walk down me to death, you won't. You won't.
It's a rough road.
This is not fun. And I think that sometimes you have to realize this might be a road I can only walk down myself. That's when it's true. When you got 38,000 niggas behind you, that ain't when it's true. That's when it's popular. Two different things.
Definitely.
Can I interject with what you just said there, Tommy?
Sure.
You mentioned earlier about Simon Peter when he was in the garden with Christ, and he drew his sword and struck the guard's ear.
Yeah, he was ready to fight.
Well, a lot of people, first of all, I don't think he was aiming for the man's ear, because what's an ear going to do? I mean, it's going to hurt. I think he was aiming for the guy's head.
No, I think he was aiming for the guy's neck. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's his head, neck. Yes, yeah. So he was really trying to. But if you recall, I think 1 or 2 chapters earlier, what did Christ say to Peter? Get behind me, Satan.
Yeah.
Because when Christ was telling him, I have to go to the cross and I have to do this, and Peter was like, Lord forbid it, and I'll follow you anywhere, and blah blah blah. Well, not blah blah blah, but and so
Christ knew he couldn't do what he was saying.
Exactly, and not only that, but he told Peter that he would deny him, and when he actually denied Christ, I think in one of the Gospels, I could be wrong, but I believe in one of the Gospels it said that after Peter denied him, when Christ was on trial, Christ looked across the room directly at Peter. And then that's when Peter went out.
Can you read that he looked across the room at him?
Yeah, because Peter realized when the cock crowed the third time, that's when he realized Jesus' word is bond.
Right.
Yeah, I just want him to read that shit, Tommy, because he be adding a lot of shit.
No, I'm not adding. I said I'm not sure. I said I'm not sure. I said I think.
He wept. What happened was he wept.
He went and wept afterwards. Yes.
Yeah, he wept uncontrollably because he realized.
Be careful with this cat.
Yeah, even though you want to do what's right and all this stuff, it's still a very different thing when the road, as the old people say, when the rubber hits the road. Everybody say they down with you. Everybody say, man, I'm down, ride or die. There's typically only 1 or 2 real ride or dies. Everybody else is trying to ride. They're going to let you die.
That's facts.
But the redemption in Simon Peter was, I'm going to build the church on you. You will be the rock. Right. So there was redemption in that. And then Peter, so a lot of you guys, just because but think about it, Tazaryach, just because they can't walk down the road that you and I walk down, doesn't mean that they're bad people. That's just not their job.
Right. Exactly. That's it. And then Peter is the rock. He's the foundation. You know what I mean? He still was the one that still had the Holy Spirit with him and stuff like that. And although he was weak, he didn't leave. You can listen, the scripture say a brother is born in adversity. Christ telling him what he's gonna do. He got weak. He didn't take that. Now, when the cock crows and he knows that Christ told him he was gonna do it, he didn't take that as an opportunity to say, okay, I'm gonna leave Christ. He said, no, I'm gonna repent from what I said and stayed with Christ. And that's where his strength was at. And that's the lesson that we got to learn. You can be weak, but you don't have to leave. And then you'll get strength.
You can have a weak moment, but not be a weak person.
Exactly.
Because remember, Jesus had a weak moment.
Yeah, Jesus said, can this cup pass from me? But then he said, nevertheless, thy will be done. He didn't want to do it, but he still obeyed. Still obeyed. And
it's
that's what
very
we have to.
difficult to have a weak moment, but not be a weak person. Damn,
That's
that
right.
might be something we need to do.
That
We need
might
to
be a
write
bar.
something about that.
Listen, we
Yeah.
listen, we done got a lot of bars on here tonight.
Yeah.
We done got that's a good
I'm
once
a
again,
weak
good ass
moment, but I'm
show
not
as
a weak
always.
person.
Mm-hmm. Listen,
But
we let the
go ahead,
black
that's fine.
we let
You
the
got the
black
floor.
women speak on here and everything, man.
Yeah, we wait, and we still
I think
waiting.
she
If it's,
wanted to marry you, Tommy. I think she wanted to marry you, Tommy.
listen, she wanted to marry you, but I'm the easiest one to get. So I've always said, look, I don't mind being a spillover. I don't mind. I might not be able to get what the first one, but I'll take what's left. You can't fuck them all. I mean, you not Ash from the Pokemon. He trying to catch them all. You trying to fuck them all.
Yeah.
I figure you can't fuck them all. I'm a help. I'm just like that guy. Hey, give me. I'll take your luggage. You can't carry it all. I'll take some.
Right. Right.
Let me release you of this burden. That's what's my job. But go ahead, Esteban. And guys, the link is there. If you guys
Yeah,
would like
the
to
link
hit
is
it.
there. How much longer we gonna go, Tommy? What you think?
We'll just go a couple more minutes. I know you got a
Okay.
family, and I know I got a bottle of alcohol. So both of those are just waiting on us both.
Would it be wrong if I ask one more question?
Go
Sorry.
ahead.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead, brother.
So I just wanted to know one last thing. How would you say was the best way to control your anger? So like, I'm 24, and a lot of my friends and a lot of us, we don't really have like good self-control itself. And so like, I guess we engage in behaviors that's really detrimental. So what do you think would be the best way to curb that?
So you want to know how to control your anger?
Well, that's personally like that's my main thing. I low key smoke a lot to control my anger, and I know that's not good.
When you say smoke, you talk about smoking weed or what you smoking? Because I don't know what y'all niggas smoking today. What you talking about?
Yeah, I smoke weed. I low key. I hate to say, but I low key been smoking like for like the last 4 years every day.
Okay, so
I've
now
been trying to stop.
before we get to your anger, right? Are you okay? Can you stop smoking?
Like
I hear
low
somebody
key.
laughing in the background, nigga. Did you hear
That
the
sound
question?
like no.
Yeah,
That
can
sound
Nah,
like
that was
no.
me. Dog.
Yeah,
Well, sorry. So I'm gonna be honest. When I tried to stop smoking, here's legit. So when the pandemic started, I wasn't really a smoker because I was in school. It was my birthday. 9 months passed. I was like, all right, I'm about to go back to school. Let me stop.
Right.
So as I was sobering up, my mom told me my dad passed away, and I was like, well, yeah. And then
Now
I've
I'm gonna tell you something.
been.
So now this gonna be the medicine part, right? So I'm gonna give you some medicine. And I was told that when you take medicine, it's always nasty when it goes down, right? You didn't smoke
Yeah.
because your dad died. You smoked because you wanted to. Your dad was just the excuse to smoke. Because when did your dad pass away, if you don't mind me asking?
August in
Oh,
2020.
okay. But you still smoking today, right?
Yeah.
Is that because of your dad?
Nah, well,
Yeah,
mainly,
it's
why?
because
I'm gonna be honest,
listen,
it is a moving goalpost.
here's what you want to accept, and here's how you fix yourself. You smoke because you love getting high. That's what you love. And here's also you weak as fuck because you're letting a plant run your life. Biblically speaking, the herb is medicine. If you have pain, right? If you have pain, you might take something for your pain. If you got a cold, you're gonna take Theraflu, or you're gonna take if you got a headache, you're gonna take a leave or something like that. But if you don't have a headache, you're not taking a leave. If you ain't got a cold, you're not taking Theraflu. So if you don't have a medical condition for marijuana, the only reason you're smoking is because you love getting high. And the biggest problem black people have is making an excuse for getting high. I'm gonna give you a personal. Now I'm gonna tell you about me personally. The last time I smoked, here's I was talking about my father earlier. The last day I smoked was the day that my father died. I just didn't know. What I mean by the day that he died, not the actual day, meaning November 29th of 2007, but it was November 29th of 2009 was the last day I smoked. Earlier that day, now I had already said I'm going to quit smoking, right? Before November 29th of 2009, I had already said I'm going to quit smoking. My wife calls me. She gets in a car accident. She calls me and says, I got in this car accident. She got hit from the front and the back. Pause.
You know, I was sitting up and listening. I was like, hey,
hey, Tommy, I had to beat you. I had to beat you with the story. I had to beat you, right? So
at least
she
I'm
got
glad
hit.
you respected the fact that I'm childish.
Yeah, I knew. So she got hit from behind, right? And then that forced her to hit the car in front of her. So now I'm at work. I leave the job. I go drive. She was fine. It was her and her sister in the car. They were both fine. My car was fucked up, though. It was my car. It was fucked up. And at the time, I only had liability insurance. So I'm banking on the other person being at fault for the insurance, which that ended up being the case. I just said I'm going to quit smoking weed. I immediately go to get a bag of weed, roll it up, and I smoked it. And as I'm smoking it, I said, didn't you just say you're going to quit? So you smoking because your wife had a car accident. And then I realized that I was just using her accident as an excuse to just get high. And I stopped smoking. And from that moment, I gave my life to Christ. And that's the last time that I smoked. So when you said you smoked because your daddy died, that's bullshit. I'm telling you out of love. Because if it wasn't your daddy dying, it would have been your girl leaving you. It'd have been losing a job. It'd have been, I ain't got no food today. Oh, they let me go early. It would have been right. It'd have been any excuse on the fucking planet for you to smoke weed. And what I took from that day is that I would be stronger than a plant. A plant should not dominate your life, Op. The reason why you have issues with anger is because you can't even defeat a plant. You telling me that plant runs your life? That plant controls you so much that you got to go and smoke? You conquer that plant. You'll conquer your anger because anger is not a sin. The scriptures, what I was going to get for you, this is Ephesians 4:26. It says, be ye angry and sin not. There's nothing wrong with being angry. The only time anger becomes a problem is when you sin in your anger. If you go and commit an offense to somebody in your anger, now that's a problem. You should be angry that you smoking weed. Talk about you say you love the Lord?
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you something. You hate God because you smoke weed. Let that sizzle in your spirit. Put that in your goddamn spirit and say, I'm never gonna smoke fucking weed because I love the Lord more than I love weed. Unless a doctor, and here's the other thing with black people, because like when I say, they'll say weed is medicine, it's from the earth, it's a herb. When the fuck did we become doctors to self-medicate? You can't. And we only self-medicate with weed. Because let a nigga say he smoked cocaine because, snort cocaine because he got to feel better. You're going to say, nah, you can't medicate. But he could say the same thing. I'm self-medicating. I need to snort this cocaine. I need to shoot this heroin.
Where we are
That's what a lot of the winos used to say about drinking.
Hold on, Jabrill. This is where he and I separate. I believe you. If you could drink alcohol, you could smoke weed. Alcohol is worse for you. There are more alcoholics that are destroyed by alcohol. There are more deaths by alcohol. I am one of those people who love the Lord, but I love the bud, and I can love them both. I can love them both. I will not let the bud overtake my. Listen, here's the thing where I would view it. I believe in the Bible when it talks about all things in moderation can be to your benefit. And they said we found a debate, so I would love to probably debate that. I do believe that things in moderation can be for your benefit. But I think the problem is you can overdo anything. You can be a glutton on food and it's bad. Did you know you can die from drinking too much water? You can drown internally from drinking too much water. And we know how good water is for you. So I think what God constantly was preaching in the Bible was the idea of mankind has a problem with he fall in love with that which he, because remember, God has no problem with you having wife and kids, but once you start loving your wife and kids more than you love him, that's a problem. Is it not?
That's true. But the only difference between now, first of all, I agree with you with alcohol. It's abusive. But I also agree with you that anything can be abusive. That's why, there's laws against gluttony. You can't be a glutton because food can be abusive. So we're not talking about what can be abusive. We're talking about what's lawful. The herb was for medicine. If you're not sick, it's no reason for medicine. Alcohol was made to make men cheerful. It's not a medicine at all. It's not deemed as a medicine. It's not for a medicine or anything like that. It's for merriness. It's for happiness. So
it has medicinal purposes.
Hell, they ain't got.
You didn't know this? Yes, they used to do it before they would amputate people. They would use it to clean wounds. I'm sorry, you don't play. You
not this shit here
you
though.
Playing with the wrong one now.
Not this here.
It was stronger than that.
Not
what you
that's
got
what I was gonna
for
say.
what you got for consumption from the.
But that's my point though. That the alcohol that they use. Right, that's my point, bro. But the alcohol that they use for what you're saying is not this. This ain't for healing wounds. This for
it is. If your girlfriend broke your heart, if you get a bottle of gin, it will help heal that wound. And let me tell you, you said weed ain't for when you sick. Yeah, it is. When I'm sick of niggas, I smoke.
But here's the thing,
Jabrill, ain't that when you smoke when you sick of some shit?
But the niggas is still there. When the high comes down, the niggas is
no. It means I can tolerate them niggas. That's why they give it to you when you got cancer, because you can tolerate cancer. Tell me I'm lying.
No, I want to agree with the cap on this one. It's like once you come down, you really got to deal with it.
Good job, Jabrill.
It's like it's suffocating because it's like the problem is even worse because it's like I got to deal with it again.
Listen, when you come down off more medicine, when you come down off the headache medicine, it ain't like it prevents headaches from returning.
But you don't take a leave if you don't have a headache.
Shit, listen, I used to take all kinds of stuff when I didn't have it. Let me tell you why. I was one of those people that I got addicted to Advil. When I was young, I had gotten addicted to Advil, ibuprofen. I didn't know it was as strong as it was. And I got to the point where I was taking 8 a day.
Okay.
So I think that's why I believe in the idea.
Right, but you can have addiction.
Moderation, because Jesus turn water into wine, but he didn't turn that shit into E and J.
He ain't turning it into marijuana either. He ain't turning that shit into marijuana. He turned it into wine.
No, but they did burn incense and myrrh. We don't know what the fuck that was. That was some shit to make a nigga relax.
Shit, I got incense in the back right now. You got some incense coming in that care package. I got.
See? It probably got some weed smell to it. I know it is. We got a nigga relax. You know what it is. Let me tell you something. Remember when Jesus used to go out and he would pray, what he would pray for, or he would meditate, because he got mad. Remember, he got mad at them and he told them, y'all stay up. And we came back, they would sleep. They couldn't handle it.
Wasn't off of weed, though.
No, I'm saying they would sleep, is what he said, like they couldn't handle it. The reason why I say this, he knew what he was going to suffer was still going to be there. But as he prayed, that was a part of him getting in the mindset to be able to endure that. So sometimes when you smoke, it's just getting you in the mindset to endure what you have to endure.
No, but here's what's more powerful: to do it without the smoke or the drink. When Christ did that, Christ did it without the smoke or the drink. Christ did it sober. The scriptures say, "Be sober and vigilant, lest the wiles of the devil get your ass." Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So for this brother Jabrill struggling, here's what I'll say.
Yeah, Jabrill look like he high right now, though.
He do. Listen, Tommy.
Look at him.
He look like he's still high. I know them. You high? Hey, be honest. You smoke weed right now, brother?
He is high.
I'm gonna be honest. I look cheap. I've been high since 8 o'clock this morning.
I told you.
Look, Tommy.
I had to go to work and whatnot.
Listen, I knew he was high when he was talking. Listen,
when he had his neck in the camera. I knew it was high when it
Yeah,
first.
you know it's messed up. I talked to you last time, Cap. I was sober, so I was right.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
good that you talk. It's good that it's good that you talk to us now because, brother, if you want to conquer those demons, you're gonna have to have self-discipline. Like you can't control your anger if you can't control weed. And remember, that's a plant. You should definitely be stronger than the plant out.
Tazaryach, how you gonna have a problem with somebody smoking weed when we call God the Most High?
That's blasphemy.
There's nobody higher than him. He's the most.
Nah, you are.
He stay high. He the most high.
Now I'm
some
gonna
high
answer.
niggas, but not as high as him. He the most.
That high is talk about elevation. That high these niggas got is de-elevation. Them motherfuckers get low. You see these people getting
You get stoned, Tommy. You get brought.
Hey, Jabrill, don't let Tommy fuck you up right now. You better soak up all this shit I'm saying. Listen, Jabrill, if you ain't careful, we get off this live stream. You gonna be like, man, Tommy said I can get high. I'm gonna go get high. Don't listen to Tommy.
Well, I met a couple Hebrew Israelites, so they told me you could get high. But it's
I will lead you astray.
Those was not Israelites, brother. Yeah, those was not Israelites. Listen, let somebody that's gonna tell you the truth. If you could trust, listen, I don't know nobody that smoked more than me. When I was in the world, I used to buy a quarter. Like I would probably, what was a quarter costing me? About $135. I was like paying $135 like every 4 days. And because I could go to work and I worked out, so I went to work, went to the gym, and smoked. That was my life. That was my life. But it controlled me. And when I was able to master that, it no longer controlled me. And I don't need the plant. That's where you want to get out. If there's a medicinal reason for any drug, you can use it. But you can't self-medicate. You got to go to a doctor, and that doctor may prescribe. And you don't have to smoke it. Even the Bible says the herbs shall be for meat. You don't
need to stop having this debate right now. This need to be a show. Because I'm looking in the comments.
Okay, no problem. That'll be good.
And again.
Yeah, because so we can pause
the
that.
title should be "Is pot hot or not?" I claimed it.
That might be the next one.
It's like half and half in your comment section.
It's like 50-50.
These people are really like this is a passion.
Hey, Tommy, can I make a quick comment? Tommy?
No, you can't comment. You can't comment. Get your groupie ass. Just pause for a second. Now
we actually are about to finish because we have gone 3.5 hours. We've done a great job.
3.5 hours.
I appreciate it though. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna check out the next show.
Hey, definitely, man. Check it out. So we appreciate you.
Thank both of you brothers for coming up here. Before I leave, though, I know you were doing something. I want to let you hear something. For real, before we go.
Oh shit. Okay, go ahead.
I'll let you hear another one of my songs. I don't want your real opinion on it. I want your group's opinion on it. Stop laughing. But you can't be laughing before I play this.
I'm a mute.
Damn.
All right, I got a straight face. I'm good.
I heard the music at the beginning. So I want you to listen to this and tell me what you think. Be honest. Here it goes. This is me. This is actually me. And you can find my music on Bandcamp. Tell me what you think about this series.
Mr. Madness, baby. Marbury. Dick Jones. And now they call me Fire. That's right. That's what they call me now. Fire. Oh. Come on. Chill. If you're gonna store something, store it. I thought I told you. West side be the hardest, regardless of all of the stress and strife. I'ma try to hold on to my precious life. So if the cops come around to arrest us, right? Yo, they better be prepared for a fight tonight. Cause if it's on and something ain't right in here, I'ma do my best to make one of them disappear. So if it's clear, keep it moving, shawty. Cause we didn't come here to fight, yo. We just came to party. Then take somebody home, cause we just trying to keep it crunk tonight. And anybody out of line get stumped tonight. That's right. So don't let the suits fool you, cause I got something out in the trunk to shoot through you. It's funny cause I ain't got nothing to prove to you, and you don't really want it with me, dog. Now do you? Oh, why you wanna play them games? Stop playing them. Why you wanna hate on me? You hate, dog. I just wanna do my thing. So me, man. Why you wanna hate on me? Chill. I'm not the one to blame. Blame me. That's why you wanna hate. Why you hating on me? I don't understand. Could it be because your girl think that I'm the man? Or could it be because your mom is my biggest fan? And your sister keeps saying, can she touch my hand? Dog, I don't even want no beef. And I don't think you really want to see me on those streets. I don't think you want to see me pull in front of your place with the heat and pull that thing out in front of your face. See, every different place I hit, 6 chicks on a roll. But it ain't because of me, it's because my record went gold. But back then when I couldn't get no show, that's the same time when I couldn't get no hoe. But now I'm putting up AI type figures. Now I got these white girls saying I like niggas. I'm guessing that's what happens when you're rhyme type nigga. That's why I'm trying to stay up in the limelight, nigga. Jigga. Why you wanna play them games? Why you playing, dog? Oh, why you hate, man? I just wanna do my thing. I just wanna do me. What? I'm not the one to blame. I'm not. Hey, wait a minute. I am not the one to blame. Ain't it gonna change? So, why you wanna play that game? Every time you do a song, you gotta say my name. I was letting it go, but now I gotta put a stop to that. Cause fake rappers get popped for that. And they gon' have to call the cops for that. Black nigga, cause when it's problems, I'm on top of that. I keep a strap like a dyke, you down in Nick Town. If you're standing around, then you're bound to get clown. So duck down, dog, cause these jokers is wild. But they can do nothing to me but have a coke and a smile. I know they foul, even though most of them hitting the white line. They might write tight lines, yeah, but they ain't like mine. So please, dog, don't even compare yourself. And you can talk about it if you ain't been near yourself. So if you want a battle, you better prepare yourself. I have your ass get to dare yourself, fake ass niggas. Oh! Why you wanna play them games? Why you playing them? Why you wanna hate on me? Why me, dog? I just wanna do my thing. I just wanna do me, man. Why you wanna hate? Why you hate, man? I'm not the one to blame. I am not the one to blame on me. Ain't a damn thing gonna change. So why you wanna hate on me? Why you wanna play them games? Why you wanna hate on me?
You heard what I said? I said I know they foul, even though most of them hitting them white lines. In baseball, it's a fair ball. It's not foul if you hit the white lines. But in real life, if you hitting that cocaine, you foul, niggas. I said, I know they foul, even though most of them hitting them white lines. They might write tight lines, but they ain't like mine. So please,
Yeah, I like that. Hey, Tommy.
You can talk about it if you ain't been there yourself. So if you want to battle, you better prepare yourself. I have your ass scared to dare yourself, nigga. Fake ass. Whoa, that was me, man. I wrote it.
I had to listen for a second. I said, that ain't Tommy. Because I'm sitting here vibing to it. I'm like, but when I listen to it, then I catch your voice. I said, nah, that is Tommy.
I sung the hook, made the beat. The whole thing is me.
Oh, that's
every piece of it.
I actually like that song. You gotta send me some songs, man. I'm gonna play it on my radio.
See the whole album. Y'all can find the whole album. You can look at it on Bandcamp. My whole album. Just look up this place called Bandcamp.com and look up my name, Tommy Sotomayor. I got a shit ton of tracks on here. We got at least 30.
Oh yeah, we gonna bump that. I'm gonna bump that.
Yeah, so that is
I'm gonna play your shit. I'm gonna listen to it. If you make my gym playlist, you somebody.
Yo, I got my ex still tell me she work out to some of my music, like one of my songs, but her favorite is "Back in the Race." It's a song where I was talking about I had just got out of jail. And I was like, I need to say this because there was some shit on my mind. I was talking about I'm back in the race. I just got out of this bitch, but I'm ready to go. Because a lot of what happened in my life, when people hear me talk about stuff, a lot of that stuff it happened to me. They think I'm talking to somebody else or he clowning black folks. I'm talking about, oh shit, they send me here in the echo. Hold on a second.
Wait, that's what I was saying now too. You guys still hear echo?
But a lot of what you hear me talk about is stuff that happened in my family. Stuff that happened that I've seen. It's not that I'm talking bad about someone else. And so I always think that's weird that people think, oh, well, you talking bad about other people. I'm like, nah, this shit happened in my life. This. I'm not talking about your mama. I'm talking about mine. Right. So if I can talk about mine, then please don't be upset because right is right and wrong is wrong. And that's again why I love when Jesus said, when they told him about his mama was here, he was like, no, anybody who follows the word, that's my family. So I look at it the same way. Anybody who believes in truth and who believes in integrity, that's my family. And I think that's why I really gravitate towards you, because I can see that you are a man of integrity. And that is something you can't hide. You can try, but you can't.
Man. Like I don't click with a lot of people, especially like outside of like my organization. Is very hard. And that's why when you made the statement about, looking at me as a brother, I wanted to make sure I said the same thing back to you because that's sincerely. Like that's not I don't have a reason to lie. I ain't scared of nobody, so I definitely ain't got no reason to lie. So I can
Mhm.
clearly say I look at Tommy as a brother. We're gonna build this shit up, man. We're gonna rock and roll. We're gonna talk about a whole bunch of stuff. It's gonna be current. We're gonna bring y'all see what happened when we bring the callers and the callers come in, they got questions. They want to talk about polygamy. The girl don't know if she want Tommy or me. Girl came on. That girl don't know if she want Tommy or me. She need to make up her
She knew
mind.
she was confused. She just knew she was confused. That's all she did.
Ah, oh, that is crazy, man. But I thought this was a hell of a show, man. I appreciate y'all joining us today, man. I think me and Tommy definitely got the to me, for two people that don't talk as much as y'all might think we talk, we got the best chemistry
Yep.
ever. There is no planning. We keep it as organic as possible. It could stay this way, or we could talk, but however it goes, what I see right now, this is our third show, and this third from this going forward is just a bomb ass show, bomb ass connection. I'm looking forward to what can be the outcome of what I feel will be a beautiful relationship between me and brother. I'm gonna call him brother Tommy Sotomayor, going forward, man. And it's been beautiful to build with him. And I don't know what else, I ain't got nothing else to say besides that, Tommy. I don't know if you got anything you want to say.
No, been a wonderful show. I bid you adieu. We were talking about the idea. I think we both agreed on surface level. You cannot worship Jesus and not worship white supremacy as
That's
well,
right.
because surface level, that's what they're giving you. And
That's
until
right.
you change it, until you change it and make it, and I like what you said, you need to make it a real change, not just put a
Right.
white black face on it.
Right. You can't blackface Jesus. You can't
Mm.
you can't do the exact same thing but put a black face on it and say, okay, it's the same. Because if they lied about the complexion, they had to have lied about everything else. And how are
Ooh.
you gonna free yourself mentally? The mental oppression is the biggest part of this all. If everybody has a God of their own, meaning the Asians have a God that's Asian, the Arabs have a God that's Arab, the whites have a God that's white. So the blacks have to have a God that's black. So if your Jesus is black, then his worship has to be black. It can't be black face, white worship. It got to be black face, black worship. You know what I mean? So I appreciate y'all rocking with us, man. We're gonna see y'all. If don't you may not have to wait till next Sunday. Only thing I could tell you is that always be on the lookout. It could be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, whenever it is. Be on the lookout when something pops up that you see hot happening online. Just say to yourself, man, Tommy and Tazaryach, they're gonna talk about that. And
That's
just
right.
look forward to it, man. So I appreciate the time, brother. I'm gonna go ahead and roll out, man. Until next time, brother, I'll see you.
Peace out. And I'm gonna close y'all out. Would y'all know what one of my favorite songs is?
In choosing how to react to this situation, your lifelong instincts will tell you to do one thing, but I implore you
All right,
to do the opposite.
I'm out.
Let the games begin.
Love you, brother. Take it easy, man. All right, man. So y'all saw once again, hell of a show. Brought to you by myself, Captain Tazaryach, and Tommy Sotomayor. What I'm gonna tell you something, man. What I like about Tommy and the show, and what's different from him than any other platforms that I've been on. Like with this subject, is submitting to Jesus, white supremacy. What we did here, to me, from my position, is unprecedented. Meaning, he allowed me on his platform to really go into what it means to be black Jesus. I'm saying it like that on purpose because he and I both agree that even if you put a black face on it, it's still white Jesus. It's still white supremacy. So he did something that I thought was phenomenal. I want to address this thing right here, right? When y'all say hope he don't whack 100 himself, that's not Tommy. Like, me and Sarnetta have been friends since 2013. The only person that has ever been whack 100 is whack 100. Let that sizzle in your spirit. That's it. He's the only person that's been that. So Tommy is Tommy Sotomayor. What I know about Tommy, just from being with him in such a short time, is that if you're a true friend to Tommy, Tommy will be a true friend back to you. If you're a true brother to Tommy, Tommy will be a true brother back to you. And I'm going to tell you, I'm the exact same way. I'm not going to be a true brother to somebody that's not a true brother to me. I'll be a brother, but I won't be a true brother. So me and Tommy gonna rock this thing out, man. Look forward to the next show that we gonna have, man. Make sure y'all tune in, stay locked in, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to his channel. I don't know what the next subject is, but I know the subject gonna be fire. I appreciate y'all rocking with me. Until next time, Shalom Israel.